work. Okay. I'm live on YouTube. So excited. Alrighty, since there is YouTube over here and TikTok over here, I'm gonna just record as if someone is there, but nobody's made it into the TikTok live yet, which is usually what keeps me busy. But I had a whole bunch of things I wanted to talk about, and I haven't gotten a chance to talk about them. Mostly like Visual Kei and J-Rock related, which kind of sucks because so much stuff has happened within the past couple months with like with J-Rock and Visual Kei, and just in general the world has gone to crap, and it's just bad news after bad news, especially when it comes to like music stuff, right? So that kind of sucks. I know there were a couple of deaths this month. There was the death of Shinya from Lunacy, and then there was also the death of Shinichiro Sato from The Pillows, which was like also devastating. I'm pretty sure The Pillows disbanded recently too, so that kind of sucked. I don't know. I think it's just kind of like sad when a band finishes like being in the band, and then the time that they get to be out of a band and like enjoy the fruits of their labor, you know, they pass away. That's like very sad. So it's just been, I didn't even find out about Shinya's death until like a couple of weeks after it happened, and I just felt awful because it's just like, it's really hard to keep up with what's going on the internet when you got so much going on. So yeah, that's one thing that's kind of been like weighing on me. And obviously there's been like a whole bunch of bands disbanding. Lyrica had issues with their vocalist. I'm gonna change the music because I like this song, and I usually like hum this part and I'm getting distracted. Check out the Flob, guys. It's a Vietnamese multi-genre group, and they came out with they came out with an album, and it's incredible. I want to talk about it, but I just never have time to do the things that I want to do. But it came out last year, and it's beautiful. Like, I was very happy to be able to like get into more Vietnamese rock last year compared to like the R&B-esque hip-hop stuff I was listening to before. I'm just gonna play some Visual Kei in the background since we're talking about Visual Kei. I made a playlist for my lives. I'm gonna use the same one for the rest of the month. So if you get tired, I'm sorry. Is there anything else I wanted to say regarding what I've been thinking about? Yeah, there have been a whole bunch of bands disbanding. So Lyrica left because their vocalist, you know, went missing on them. And word on the street is he isn't the easiest person to work with. And then Botsu, #Botsu disbanded, which not a lot of people were like into Botsu, so I guess it's a little different. Somebody made a list of other bands that have disbanded. Oh, that band I like so much. I can't believe, what's their name? I was listening to them today and I was like, it's such a shame. They disbanded this month. Soranaki. I talked about Soranaki. I made multiple videos about Soranaki, about how much I love them. And they disbanded. What's today? They're disbanding in like a week. I think a week. I don't know, but they're disbanding this month. So that kind of sucks. Hey, Savette, sending you lots of love and positivity. Oh, thank you. Dude, I appreciate it. I really need it because it's just been, it's been a tough time. That's why I haven't been able to keep up with honestly anything, you know, between school and work. And then I get back on the internet and I hear all these awful things that are happening. It's tough. So I really appreciate it, Morgan. Is that AI in my chat? I swear to God, they're just putting AI into everything, and it is so annoying. I don't want that here. For context, I'm also on YouTube. I'm on YouTube on this side and TikTok on this side. So yeah, it's been a very hard year so far, with the loss of certain members and the disbanding of certain bands and everything else that's going on in the world. But I'm gonna try to start doing more lives, since it's really difficult for me to make videos at this time, and more Visual Kei based lives, because I talk about anime all the time with like my friends. But I don't get that many chances to talk about Visual Kei unless I'm online. So I have like a little outline of how I'm gonna do my lives. Ooh, I have messages? That's weird. Okay. I have a little outline of how I'm gonna do my lives, and the first thing that I'm going to usually talk about is just things that have been on my mind. And honestly, the only things that have been on my mind is people dying and bands breaking up. Because I swear to God, everywhere you look, like, just not great things are happening. So I'm watching all of the elder bandmen and women, like, oh my God, please be in good health, you know. I hope you guys are doing well mentally. Anytime any bands are like changing and experimenting with genre, I'm like, oh, this is a sign. Y'all better not be close to breaking up. Somebody was talking about DIMLIM yesterday. I think they left a comment under my review of the DIMLIM album, or under my video I made about DIMLIM disbanding, right? And they were like, oh, dog, I just found them. This sucks. I find out they disbanded after just finding them. And it's like bands like that doing dramatic genre changes and then breaking up, when it's just like, bro, this is actually good. What are you doing? Not every band can execute a genre change and have it sound fantastic. But anyways, there are a couple. The next thing on the agenda, because I have an agenda, I have to have an agenda or I'll ramble on, as you can see. The next agenda was to read recent comments that people have left me on YouTube, whether it be questions, all Visual Kei related. I have a little printed sheet, and I'm just going to get to it. Somebody left me a message. They said, off topic, but I have a fun idea. Dion Gray released a new album soon, and I was wondering if you would do a review, or even better, a discography tier list / mini review on all the albums, including the new album. They are my favorite Visual Kei band, and I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'm sure lots of others would love to as well. Ooh, okay. I hate telling people this because it makes me feel very self-conscious, because I know a lot of people love Dion Gray, but me, I never got into Dion Gray because thematically they were a little bit too much for me. And I always say, because I would read interviews from the band members, I would always say that Kyo has been very forward about the fact that he likes to talk about dark stuff. So he just happens to be really good at it. Like, the band is really good at what they do. Very dark, very grim, very gruesome. I am not into any of that. So I never got into Dion Gray, because I think I bumped into, they had a song that was just very, very interesting lyrically, and one of the lyrics just put me off, and I just didn't listen to Dion Gray after that point until I think what year did Kodo come out? Kodo came out, and I like their song Umbrella, but that's like a lighter song. I didn't really start getting into Dion Gray's work until several years after finding them for the first time, when I was put off by them. And still now, I have no interest in diving into Dion Gray's music. I think Kyo is a fabulous vocalist. I have listened to songs from them, but it's just thematically they're a dark group, and that's what it is. I'm not into that, and I always say my version of Dion Gray was Sadi. Yeah, that was my version. And even in the beginning of Sadi's career, they were pretty intense, and I just skipped over that period and listened to everything else. So yeah, I did decide to listen to Dion Gray's new album. I did, because sometimes when people request things of me, even if I don't want to do it, I'm like, fine, I'll check it out. It's just an album. I didn't particularly hear any songs that stood out to me. Although I will say, because I do like a couple of Dion Gray's songs. One thing I do like about Dion Gray's music is the fact that it's gruesome, but there's like a softness to it. I don't know how to explain it. I like a lot of music that has soft and hard sounds like mixed together. So musically, Dear on Grey would be something I would normally like, if not for like lyricism and dark themes. And while listening to their newer album, I was reminded of kind of the thing I do like about Dear on Grey, which is like, no matter how dark the music gets, I don't know if it's Kyo's voice or the way they compose music, it just, there's a softness to Dear on Grey. I don't know how to explain it. Because soft, you know, associating Dear on Grey with the idea of soft just sounds strange, but there's just something soft and almost beautiful about their music, though it's gruesome and it's not my cup of tea. And that's what I was reminded of when I was listening to the recent album. None of the songs stuck for me in particular, as far as like the way they were composed. I like a lot of catchy stuff, and there wasn't anything that was particularly catchy to me. But Kyo's voice, he has a beautiful voice. I've always thought his voice was nice, and the music was fine, but nothing stuck out to me. I think I listened to about half of the new album. I gotta see how many songs they had. But yeah, dude. Oh my god. One song that's good, that I'm upset that's good, it's the one that they used AI in. And they came out with this song either a year or a couple years ago, and it was on this newer album. I don't remember. It's the one about John Wayne Gacy, which I thought was pretty distasteful, but I'm not surprised. I was like, bruh, can y'all stop using like real serial killers as like art? Like, anyways, that's my personal beef, because I took a criminology class and I did a project on John Wayne Gacy. So when he popped up on the in this Dear on Grey video, I was just like, ooh, well, it's not really tasteful, is it? But when are you guys ever tasteful? Comes with the territory. Okay, Mortal Downer. The Devil in Me. There we go. That song, The Devil in Me. That song sounds good to me. But there was the usage of AI. Was it The Devil in Me? No. I think I have the wrong song. Okay, The Devil in Me, I think the album art was the problem. See, this is why this is a live on YouTube, so I can go back and watch this. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, Dear on Grey got complaints from fans because The Devil in Me had album art or concept art that was not very human made. It was AI. Oh, I love this song. Okay, give me a second. Bro, I'm a miss Soranaki. This makes me sad. Is it The Devil in Me? What is it? What am I thinking of? I think I'm wrong. See, bro, I can't even keep... I'm just gonna put John Wayne Gacy. I'll put Dear on Grey. I'm gonna find this. I might turn this up for a minute, guys. I really like this song. Okay, so I was right. All of this, and I was right. Because there's people complaining on J-Rock1. I don't think that's what they're trying to say. Somebody said, I think Dear on Grey is trying to say that people who rely on generative AI to create visuals are no better than serial killers. I think you're wrong, buddy. But I got this right. I got the right song. All that for nothing. I like that song too much. I have to turn. I like that song too. So yeah, I will not be making a Dear on Grey review because I don't really have an interest in their music like that. Although I do appreciate them for like what they've done like in Visual Kei. I've read a lot of interviews by them and I've overplayed the songs that I do like by them. My favorite one happens to be Kodo, which I feel like is not that impressive, so I'm sorry. I just think that song is amazing. And I also liked, there's a song called Zesai by, it's composed by SUGIZO, and he had Kyo as the vocalist for Zesai, and I think Zesai is such a beautiful song. So I love Kyo's vocals. I'll tell you that. I listened to Sukekiyo and can't even think of the other thing. We're gonna move on. I made a video complaining about foreign basically saying band names correctly and band member names correctly. I know Zyean came out, Zyean and JILUKA, he came out and he posted a reel of somebody saying how to pronounce his name correctly, because we've been trying to tell people his name is pronounced Zyean, but like they're they're fighting it. So my mutual, she sent me a video and she was just like, oh my god, I guess Zyean got tired of people pronouncing his name incorrectly, and he had reposted somebody else's reel of telling fans, hey, his name is pronounced Zyean. So it was very interesting. But anyways, I made a video about visual K pronunciations, and this is a comment somebody left. 88 channel 22. Maybe I should start saying the names. This probably sounds weird, but a lot of bands use foreign names that borrow from something like French. However, the bands themselves don't say it the way a native would, or I guess you could say they are saying it wrong themselves from a native speaker point of view. However, I still count the way the band says it as correct in the context of the band name, because that is what they named themselves. They are correct, even though the pronunciation isn't correct. That's what they're saying, basically. I don't know if I... Sometimes I have to put punctuation in here myself, but basically they're saying, hey, if the band is, say the band's Japanese and they used an English word or a French word in their band name, do you think it's correct that they're saying their own name correct? And this person said yes, because that's what they chose to call themselves. I agree with that. I'm never going to be jumping down a band's throat because they're saying their band name with a type of Japanese accent, or they can't pronounce the word the way it's actually pronounced. I can't. Why? I just think that's nitpicky, and I think that's weird, and I think it's also xenophobic. But I do think when you have, I do think it's weird when you try to say things the Japanese way when it's a word that's from your language. Like Jane, I was arguing with so many people, and they were trying to say Jane the same way that Senna says Jane. And it's like Senna is saying Jane's name the way Senna's saying it because Senna's Japanese. English is not his first language. So when he says Jane, it's going to sound different than like me saying Jane, right? And I was trying to explain that. I was like, y'all, if y'all want to copy Senna's accent and say Jane in some nifty Japanese way, then okay, I'm not doing that. Because I'm perfectly capable of just saying Jane. So yeah, I completely understand. Like if a Japanese band, you know, names themselves something French or English and they say their name in some type of like way that's not accurate, I don't care. That they chose to name the band that. Like that's their right. Oh my god. I don't know if any of you guys listen to, I wrote their name down because I don't know how to pronounce it. And I wrote it down because I was just like, I'm going to pronounce this, goddammit. I usually just call them gosan. And you'll probably already know what band I'm talking about. Reiten Ichi Guramu no Gosan. Reiten Ichi Gurama. Gurama? Did I say it right? Is it Guramu or Gurama? I'm going to just call them Gosan. They have a shortened version of their name. I just don't know. Let me see. Did I write it down? Did I write down the shortened version? I did not. I'm just going to say Gosan. They have a shortened version of how to say it that's not Gosan, but I'm going to say Gosan. Somebody left a comment. It's somebody that comments on my videos frequently. Texas Banya, which I kind of want to talk to you in person. You seem like you have a lot of knowledge, and I always like reading your comments. There was a video I made about, what's that guy in that band? Hero is his name. In Bro, I was listening to them at the gym and I can't think of think of the band name. Anyways, it'll come to mind and I'll mention it. But I made a video about how people were making fun of Hiro's features, specifically his nose. They said something really offensive, and she was in the comments and she was talking about how you from Gosan had plastic surgery recently. And I'm just going to read the comment. I actually still have not gotten over Midorikawa used plastic surgeries. I have a form of congenital? Guys, I need to know if this is a word. Congenital? How do I say this? Because, I don't know. I feel weird. Maybe because it's... I need to know how to pronounce this. Congenital. Oh, okay.
Congenital.
Oh my god, I'm gonna wake up my family. Congenital. Okay, meaning. I don't know what that means. Meaning. Condition, trait, or anomaly present at birth, often resulting from genetic factors or development in the womb. Okay, now I know what it means. I love learning words and I can't stand to say words incorrectly. So yes, I did need to look that up immediately. Okay, carrying on. I actually have still not gotten over Midorikawa used plastic surgeries. I have a form of congenital face blindness, and the number of people who I can recognize regardless of changes in hair, makeup, clothing is around 10. That's me too. Except, it's not congenital, but I feel the same way. I be forgetting people all the time. Yu was one of them until his surgeries. Yu has a very distinct face, honestly, even though I have not found any Gosan songs that I've liked. I dabbled a little bit, looked into their music a little bit. I didn't try really hard, but I've always thought Yu was one of the most striking looking bandmen in Visual Kei ever. I really, really thought he had like the most beautiful features, and I loved his face. So anytime I would see him, I'd be like, I know exactly who that is, even though I don't listen to the band. He just had such a beautiful face. Anyways, Yu was one of them until his surgeries, and now the face that I know no longer exists, and that is devastating to me. I had to take a big step back from their lives altogether because it makes me sad. This is what I wanted to say. I took notes because I knew I was going to forget, the video Time Limit Cinderella. Time Limit Cinderella popped up on my For You page. YouTube has a For You page, right? Whatever. It was on YouTube, right? And I clicked the video and I was like, oh, what band is this? I just didn't bother reading the title. Or maybe it was in Japanese. I don't know. I didn't recognize it as Gosan. But I clicked the video and I was just like, oh, cool. Wait, did they get a new vocalist? I was so confused. I literally thought they had gotten a new vocalist. That's how different Yu looks. And when I realized that it was him, I was shocked. And I had nobody in that moment to talk about it with because, I mean... I don't know I'm gonna show a picture of them because I don't know how to, I'm saying Gosan, but I don't know how to I don't know how to say their name in Japanese. Like, completely, he looks like a whole different person, and it's so extreme. And I have multiple things to say about it, but the first thing is, it's like, I'm not a fan anyways, so obviously take my opinion with a grain of salt. I'm not a fan of the band, therefore it's like, what can I really say about it? And then also, the beauty standard is so different in Japan from here. So even though I'm looking at it and I'm just like, well, great, now you look like everybody else. You had such a distinct face and now you look like just another V-Kei dude. Even though I'm saying that, it doesn't mean that, like, let me see. I wish I could turn it, like, will you turn for me? Nope. Sorry, this is taking so long. And just so you guys know, I'm recording on YouTube as well. And lives are like rewatchable. So if this feels very like I'm looking off at this screen, that's why. Okay, this band. Hopefully you guys will be able to see. And I'll repeat the name again, even though it may be incorrect. I don't know. I went through several websites like, how the hell do you pronounce this Visual Kei band's name? Reiten Ichi Gurama Guramu no Gosan. Yeah. And I'm gonna just say Gosan. So that's them. Yeah, they're very popular. They're very popular. I remember they were, I was looking up bands that were going to Taipei, because I was interested in visiting Taiwan, and they were one of the bands, and I was like, oh, maybe I should go and see them. But anyways, he had full face surgery. The vocalist had full face surgery, and he looks like a completely different person. Midorikawa. And he always had such a beautiful face. Like, oh, this is what he looked like. That was what his facial features look like. And he just changed it completely. So that is very shocking. Only Japanese group I know is One OK Rock. Okay, One Rock. One OK Rock. Did you mix it up or did I mix it up? It's late at night, bro. My brain is not working, but good choice. They're a good band. But yeah, dude, I noticed it too. I felt devastated too. I was like, you've messed up your beautiful face. You had such distinct features. And I know a lot of Visual Kei bandmen. The first thing I thought of actually is hosts in my head. Haha. I know a lot of them get facial surgery, but for me, I did take that personally. I understand the beauty standard is different in Japan, but bro, you went and messed up a perfectly good face, a distinct face with such beautiful features, and you look like a completely different dude. Yeah, that's a different person. So, yeah, God, it sucks, man. He looked really good. Anyways, that's a comment that I got, and I've always wanted to talk to you specifically about that, because I was like, okay, I have nobody to talk to about this specifically, because I'm not within like the group of fans that listen to this band. And then also my mind just moved on to something else within the next 5 seconds. But I'm happy you left that comment, because I was just like, bruh, who are you? Did they change vocalists? And then when I realized it was just like plastic surgery, I was like, oh, why have you done this? You were literally one of the most distinct looking vocalists in Visual Kei, in my opinion. Like, he had such a striking, beautiful face. But, you know, they got to slim that nose down. They got to get that jawline carving. They're really, really into that. It's so hard when people in your own culture are dogging your looks. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the reason why, even though I'm disappointed, I do understand. It's like, hey, this is a Japanese guy. Hopefully my mic makes it so you guys can hear. This is a Japanese dude. He's living in Japan. I don't like when they get facial surgery when they have such beautiful features. But at the end of the day, just because I think their features are beautiful doesn't mean like other people in Japan do. And I wouldn't be surprised if like they make more money. You know, they have more people that are into them. Attraction plays a huge part in like Japanese performers, musicians, etc. All of it. Like if they're attractive, they make way more money. So it's like, hey, do what you gotta do, but I'm sad. So sad. Okay, so 2 people left a comment under one of my videos when I was talking about Visual Kei and like how 3 years ago, I'll start from the beginning. 3 years ago, I made a video about how Visual Kei was kind of like on the decline. You know, I was asking the question, is Visual Kei dead? And the conclusion was that we really can't make that decision as foreign Visual Kei fans. It's really up to the Japanese Visual Kei fans to make the decision whether or not Visual Kei is dead. despite all that, I was rather disappointed with the quality of music. So I made a video about it. And I got a couple comments. The AI keeps throwing me off. It keeps popping up in my comments, letting me know a brief summary of what I'm talking about. And it's just annoying. How do I disable this? I hate this so much. Anyways, somebody said, as a younger Visual Kei fan, 16, the music is most definitely not the focus anymore. This is something I complained about. I was talking about how people seem to care about Visual Kei bands' looks to the point where, like, it's like their ears are not working. They're not noticing that the music is crap. I could see if the music was okay or, like, decent and the band was hot. You know, that escalates things a little bit. It's like, okay, the music sounds even better because there's a little cherry on top, okay? Everybody looks hot. I get it. But when the music is bad and the band looks good, that's a whole nother story. See, I'm getting carried away. As a younger fan of Visual Kei, the music is most definitely not the focus anymore, which is disheartening because a lot of modern bands lack substance, whether it be from a musical or lyrical standpoint. Lyrical especially. You know, Visual Kei lyrics haven't always, like, speaking collectively, haven't always been, like, the most eclectic. But there was a little bit more variety in there, okay? It's really disheartening to where I find myself relating to millennial experiences with Visual Kei music, as my generation seems to prefer the newer sound, and shockingly, no one recognizes the Girugamesh guy anymore. I argue that the reason for Visual Kei's death is the integration of other Japanese alternative cultures like Jirai Kei, Menheta, Edo-Guro, as many modern visuals take heavy visual influence from these movements, contrasting with the Koteosa and Okeisho, Japanese, movements of earlier times. I feel the same with relying on older bands for music, but the odd thing is most of the songs I listen to from these bands came out before I was even born. That's not odd. You have taste. So there's definitely a present disconnect. I love your content, though. It's so refreshing and inspiring to see a fellow Black Visual Kei fan, especially with similar tastes in music. Hey girl, hey! Or hey boy, hey! Yeah, man. We need more Black people over on this side. It's nice. It's nice to meet other people who feel the same way I do about Visual Kei that are Black. I need to make another video about Visual Kei and how I feel about it presently. I realized that my needs weren't really getting met when it came to, like, the type of music I wanted to listen to, but in other areas of the world, rock is having a revival. It's been having a revival for the past, I would say, maybe 2 or 3 years since I made that video. I might have talked about the revival in that video. But because there are other countries with, like, other types of music, and we're going through, like, a worldwide rock revival, because rock went back underground for a while, and now it's surfacing a little bit. It hasn't gotten to the point where you're hearing, like, heavy metal on the radio regularly, right? I wouldn't say we ever got to that point. Unless you're talking about, like, the classic metal. It hasn't gotten to a point where I feel like it's super noticeable. Right now we're going through, like, I would even say more like a pop punk or a pop rock type of phase, but I have needs when it comes to music, and I'm finding out that the things that I wanted from Visual Kei, I could easily just go to another country and get. A lot of the rock bands that I've been listening to now are, like, American, European. They're modern, they're present day, and that's the sound that I've always liked. I'm big into nu metal. Nu metal is mostly what I like. I like a lot of math rock. And I learned about shoegaze, which I always have loved shoegaze. I just never could put a name to it, so I'm discovering shoegaze. Like, there are all of these different sounds that I want from Visual Kei, and since the need is not being met, I'm able to go other places and get those needs met. So that is making things a lot easier to handle. I am still disappointed with a lot of the quality of Visual Kei that comes out, but at the end of the day, it's like, what can you do? Just pick through the albums. When the albums come out for these bands, I pick through them. I find songs I like. I listened to an album earlier today that came out a couple months ago from a Visual Kei band. I will not name who they are. And I only liked one song on that entire album. And I was just like, hey, this is how it is now. Gone are the days where I sit down and listen to an album, not even with just Visual Kei bands, but with just most music artists in general. Gone are the days where I sit down, listen to a full album, and think half or more than half of it is fantastic. The only thing I can think of right now that I listened to that was a masterpiece was the Gorillaz new album. Gorillaz new album that they came out with recently, absolutely fantastic. Beautiful. It's it's everything. I was just like, I can't say I was surprised. I was going to say I was so surprised. I wasn't, because Gorillaz, they make good music. They just kind of veered off into like a certain territory that's a little bit more abstract. Which I like more abstract music, but they were getting a little bit too like woo woo. So they brought it back, and it feels very much like Demon Days, with a couple more cultural elements added. But my perspective of like Visual Kei and its quality, some of it's still the same, some of it's changed. So I do plan on making like an updated video about how I feel about Visual Kei now. One of the biggest changes is the fact that I feel like more artists are desiring to interact with fans overseas, and gotta blame the internet for that. I think that's beautiful. That a lot of the Japanese bands are like, hey, we actually do want fans that are foreigners, right? We actually are considering and communicating and talking about going over to these places to play our music. And that's wonderful to see. I just think some people also need a reminder that just because one Visual Kei band is interested in interacting with foreign fans, that doesn't mean all of them have that interest. That seems to be an issue on Twitter, where it's just like the assumption that, hey, you know, I'm a foreigner, I'm your fan, I'm a fan of you, you know, cater to me, please. There needs to be a certain level-headedness when it comes to the excitement of these bands being interested in other fans besides Japanese listening to their music. I know there's a lot more bangyo over there than there used to be, so I'm sure that plays a part, you know, seeing different people at your concerts that are non-Japanese. But I'm excited about that. I think things are looking good as far as like Visual Kei getting another wave of popularity. I do think it's mostly because of looks, but it is what it is, man. Whatever it takes for the word to get out there. I'm definitely pro more people finding out about Visual Kei. I know it can get a little toxic, similar to like when K-pop started to get more popular. But it is what it is. I want these people who work so hard to do what they love and play a genre of music that isn't the most popular in Japan. Like, I want these people to be able to earn money for their craft and to be able to tour and see fans and like gain a following. Like, I'm really happy with JILUKA. Like, JILUKA is just freaking inspirational. They're the first band that comes to mind, because it's just like, damn, the amount of times that they went on tour, I'm like, bruh, wow, fantastic. I'm so proud of them. Somebody else left a video, somebody else left a comment under the Visual Kei video I made about how I felt like presently at that time, 3 years ago, it wasn't up to par. 3 years late, but oh well, it's okay. I like getting comments on old videos. 3 years late, but oh well. I'm so with you on Dararoma and Kizu. I said Dararoma and Kizu. Kizu at the time. Kizu more newer, of course. Were making excellent music. Kizu, fantastic. I do think Kizu was an acquired taste. I do think their target is mostly Japanese fans in a way where it's like, it could be harder for non-Japanese fans to get into Kizu, but Kizu's excellent. Those two in particular will always have my respect, seeing as they've managed to make such a distinct sound for themselves in the modern world of all new gen V-Kei sounding somewhat similar. Which is still a problem. A lot of Visual Kei still sound so similar, and it's annoying. At least when you're a foreigner only with access to Spotify and YouTube. I know a lot of people complain that music used to be so much more fun when times were simpler and how they wish we'd revert to the 90s. But I think a big reason why those bands are doing so well is because they don't pay attention to that. They lean into their era and don't see it as a hindrance. As for Rex, well, truthfully, I don't know if they count as a new V-Kei or not. I haven't listened to a bunch of their stuff, but Mary is signed under Kiyoharu's label. And apparently they're pretty good. I've also enjoyed a few Arshite songs, though overall they might class under basic new gen to some. Yeah. Arshite's been around for so long, though. They've been around for a very long time. I think Arshite's been around for like a hot minute. They have a lot of music. If it's the band, I think it is. I'm gonna look it up. Okay, so a couple things. I will not listen to Mary because there was a controversy. With one of their concepts a while ago. Like, I did desire to go and listen to Mary. Mary's quite old, actually. Mary was around when I was when I first got into Visual Kei. Let me double check. Yeah, dude, Mary's been around for a minute. And they had like a darker concept. I think they were like all, what do you call it when you dress in, when all the members are dressed in black? There's like different types of fashion associated with Visual Kei bands, and they all have names. I can't think of it right now, but Mary did catch my attention when I was younger. I just never fully got into them, and by the time I decided to get into them, there was this huge controversy with one of the ways they decided to dress up that was really off-putting, especially for me as a black fan, and I was just like, oh no, thank you. Not interested. But from what I listened to back in the past, Mary did have pretty good music. And I'm happy I did not get invested in them, because had I got invested in Mary and then saw that, I would have been so upset. Like, that's kind of like the worst it gets when it comes to certain things. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. I'm not trying to talk about go into a full conversation about blackface on here, because it's blackface related. Let me see. Did they say anything else? So that's going to be a no on the Mary. I do not need that recommendation. And they're old. They came out in 2001. And I do think sticking to like what they know, what's popular among other Japanese fans makes the most sense. Visual Kei is still very small. It makes way more sense for them to play the music that Japanese fans want to hear, instead of like going online and seeing that like all the foreign fans are starved and are like, hey, we want you to play like the same sound that Visual Kei was like dipping in and out of in 2005. I'm so old. I'm so old. I don't have that expectation. Like, realistically, if I were to sit and discuss my expectations from these bands, I don't expect them to cater to foreign fans, but it does make me sad that they no longer sound like the bands I grew up with, because those bands were on a roll. Like the Gazette, Gilgamesh, like, they were on a roll. And now the sound is just so different. A lot of it has a lot of electronics mixed into it, and Japan has always loved that type of thing. One of the things that put me off the most in a lot of Visual Kei bands is the electronic usage, the electronic mixed with the rock. It's like, it annoys me so much. But I think that's the type of music that Arshite makes. I meant to look up Arshite because I think Arshite is old too, and they have like a lot of come on, dude. V-Kei. Yeah, dude. They came out the year I got into Visual Kei, 2007. I knew they were old. I didn't know they were that old. I know they have a lot of music, though. At some point, I do plan on listening to all of Arshite's discography, though, because I found, like, one or two songs that I liked, and I was like, okay, you guys have some gems. Okay. And I will scour albums to find one song that I like. I will do that. because I'm picking through stuff. Unless like a band completely puts me off, I'm not going to be picky. I'm not. A couple other comments that I got. Let me make sure that I am not missing anything. Okay, good. Not missing any comments on TikTok. These are really old. Like I have a clipboard of stuff that people have left, comments that people have left from like years ago. And that's because I was not keeping up with my comments, but some of them are really still interesting, so I'm going to read them. Somebody said Lynch just dropped a new album. And this was funny because Lynch, I had just made a video about how I never really wanted to get into Lynch. I just didn't like the name for obvious reasons. I was like, I'm okay. I'm kind of put off by the name. And then I did a binge of just Lynch's music because a mutual of mine was like, hey, you know, their music is all right. Here's a couple recommendations. And their music was indeed all right. It was just all right. Vocalist, the hot one, I can't think of his name. Oh, actually, a lot of the band members are hot. They have very, like, unique facial features, Lynch. Anyways, the vocalist, I liked a lot of his solo work, which is the reason why I was interested in checking out Lynch after a long time of them existing. And I like a lot of his solo work still, but Lynch's music was just okay for me. So when I got this message saying, hey, Lynch just dropped a new EP, I was laughing to myself because I was just like, hey, just went on a binge. Not interested. Not interested. So, wait. I have another funny comment. I have like almost every Plastic Tree song liked on Spotify, yet I still find lots of songs I've never heard of before on different platforms. Plastic Tree has made so much music. They have made so much music. It's insane. I have been on the Plastic Tree for like so long. I'm talking about 17, 18 years. I still find songs that I've never heard of before. And it's like, what? Darla! Hello! Good to see you. I was actually listening to somebody talk about Sex in the City, and I was thinking about you, and I was just like, hey man, we never did end up doing that Discord like watch and review thing. I love Sex in the City, by the way. It's amazing. But I thought about you. I was like, we never did do that. But it's good to see you. There was something else that I was thinking about that reminded me of you. I think I watched a video about sewing and I was just like, I wonder how Darla's doing. But it is good to see you. It is good to see you. And for anybody else that's here, again, I am recording on YouTube. So I may look this way sometimes, or I may get a little robotic with what I'm saying, but I'm trying to cover every point. It's good to see you though. Oh my God. It's been so long, dude. I've been so sad. I'm not going to go on a rant about my life, even though I really want to. True, I ended up watching it. I finished season 1 and started season 2 not too long ago. I need to do a rewatch. I think I have a couple seasons on my flash drive, and I keep hearing people talk about like, oh, do you like Miranda more? Do you like Charlotte more? Like, basically talking about which characters they like more. And it's been a while since I've watched Sex and the City, and I wonder if my favorite people have changed, or like the qualities. I wonder if the qualities of the women will be more off-putting to me now that I'm older. That's what I wanted to say. But when I do rewatch the first season, we can have a little discussion about it. You see, it's okay, girl. I've been sad too, so I get it, girl. We all been sad. We all been sad over here. I just can't catch a break. Like, life is lifing so hard, and I'm just ready for, I love my life. When I say I'm ready for it to be over, I mean all the hard things, not my life. I love living. I value my life. All right, there's 2 more things that I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to bed, dude. I'm tired. I got work tomorrow. Plastic Tree makes so much music. I actually have to go on Spotify if anybody's interested. Plastic Tree put all their music on Spotify a while back, and it's fantastic given how like far back their discography goes. Oh my god, there's people. My YouTube comments are showing up, and I've never used YouTube Live before. I didn't know I had YouTube comments on the live. Okay. I'm going to go back and I'm going to read. Sorry for the people who are commenting on YouTube. This is my first time using Streamlab. I don't even know how to use this. So I will get to you guys, but I'm going to read Darla's comment first, and then I'm going to cover this other comment that is kind of annoying. This is where things get a little mean. I have mean things to say. I just came back from the movies. I watched the drama with Zendaya and how was it? I am interested in seeing that. I want to see more romances. It is romance. It's like a drama, romantic drama. Is that the vibe? I've had an interest in watching like live. I was gonna say live action movie. What do you call it when it's not anime? Live action romances. Non-animated romances. I've been interested recently in like catching up with like all those old romances of the past. Like, isn't there one called 50 First Dates or something? Then there's like She's Just Not That Into You or something. There's like a whole list of romance movies that I've just never seen. I've never seen The Notebook, and I have an interest in doing that now. I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe I just haven't. Ooh, I probably shouldn't say that on here. I'm getting to the point where I need to reproduce or it's just going to go away. It was really good, and I'd say more dark comedy drama. Oh, I don't like dark stuff. Makes you question things, honest. Okay, how dark? How dark are we talking? I don't like dark stuff. I'm so like, I was gonna say I'm so happy, but I want to keep myself in a great mood. Is it like a downer, or is it like still worth watching? I need to know that. Okay. While you're letting me know how dark it is, I'm going to read this. Because I got a comment recently where somebody just went off on me. I made a video a long time ago talking about bands I never got into, and they took it very seriously. And they were like, well, this isn't like K-pop. I hate when people treat Visual Kei like K-pop. They basically said that just because I was saying, hey, I didn't get into this band because of this reason. And they were like, well, you shouldn't have to explain yourself. Bruh, it was for fun. It was for fun. But the deeper issue wasn't like a video of me talking about like bands that I wasn't able to get into. I just think that they were irritated because they felt like I was attacking the bands. And I'm like, first of all, these are grown men. Like, I always say that. These are grown men. And I definitely kept it respectful. I was like, yo, I wasn't able to get into this band because the music was too hard. I talked about Ichini Zero, Ichini, I don't know if it's Ray, 12012, okay? I talked about how they were a little bit dark for me. I did eventually get into their music, but they were a little dark. And then I talked about some other groups I wasn't able to get into. But this person went on a whole rant. And this comment reminds me of them. This person said, I seriously don't get how V-Kei fans turn into K-pop fans. Now, within the comment that they left, there was a lot of associating my critique. It wasn't even a critique. My being unable to get into these bands with like K-pop fan behavior, which I don't know how that correlates. I don't know how that correlates because people talk about not being able to get into bands all the time. It's not like just a Japanese Visual Kei thing. It's not a K-pop thing. It's a world thing. You know how much I love Radiohead? I had a coworker tell me that they did not like Radiohead, and I thought I wanted to just put my hands around their throat and be like, you know nothing about music. Only it was a music teacher, so I couldn't really say that, right? But this person took it way too seriously. But their comment about K-pop, well, this isn't K-pop, very much stood out because, first of all, we're not having a conversation about K-pop. Why are you bringing up K-pop unless you associate like the only music available being Visual Kei or K-pop? You don't have to pick a side. You can pick one. And my point, I'm sorry. I seriously don't get how V-Kei fans turn into K-pop fans. I'm going to answer this question seriously, or like this comment, respond to this comment seriously. Also, I'm getting tired, so if I start rambling, I'm sorry. It's actually past my bedtime. Most of the thing that sets, like, that draws a line when it comes to K-pop fans not being able to get into Visual Kei and Visual Kei fans not being able to get into K-pop is the fact that these people are not open to all genres of music. if you're somebody who likes music, and I mean really likes music, then something being pop and Korean is not going to put you off. The fandom could put you off. Like, my relationship with K-pop is very personal. I don't talk to anybody about K-pop. I did have some friends I used to talk to about K-pop, like in real life, but my relationship with K-pop has always been personal. I got into it in the middle of high school, and I listened to it all the way up until, like, I would say maybe my mid-20s. And then I kind of fell off, right? But I never engaged with, like, K-pop fandom at all. K-pop was always personal. And it was easy to get into because, I mean, it's my culture's music. And I, even as a Black person who grew up like alternative and liking rock and liking heavy stuff, I never had a distaste for my own people's music. So I think that is the reason why it was easy for me to get into Korean pop. When I met an exchange, I told this story already, but I met a foreign exchange student in high school, and she saw that I was into Japanese music, and she was like, well, hey, here's Korean music. What do you think about this? And I was just like, oh, this is cool, I guess. The men are hot. And I remember she invited me over her house to watch Running Man. And it was the episode with Big Bang, but I didn't know who they were, and I thought it was boring, and I started falling asleep. But I was trying to pretend to be awake and watch it with her because she was cracking up, and I was like, I don't know who these men are. But if you're somebody who's open to many different genres, you will not be put off by things just in general. So I don't think it's that hard for Visual Kei fans to get into K-pop if they're open to other types of music. For me, I'm open to music from everywhere, right? And I think one of the things, like one of the perks of listening to music from other Asian countries is, oh, don't end me, don't kick me off of TikTok. Okay. One of the perks of opening yourself up to other types of music, not just K-pop, not just Japanese rock or Japanese music, right, is you start to not see all of these Asian people as like just one thing. Because that person in my video brought up K-pop out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. And unless like somebody is actually talking to me about Visual Kei and K-pop within the same like setting, like they're mentioning both things, I'm not thinking about K-pop when I'm engaging in Visual Kei stuff, and I'm not thinking about Visual Kei unless I'm engaging in K-pop stuff. Although I will say K-pop recently, some of the groups that have come out have aesthetics that remind me of Visual Kei. Like I've seen a lot of things recently where it's like one colored contact and it's like red or some color that reminds me of Visual Kei. But other than that, it's weird to bring up, to be watching a video about Visual Kei and then bring up K-pop. And people need to learn that, hey, they're like, these two things are different. You don't always have to put them together. And I think it's easier for me to do it because I'm listening to other types of music from other parts of Asia. Like I'm really into Vietnamese music right now. So it's just like, those things are so distinct and separate that it's just really odd. But that's, if you're wondering how Visual Kei fans, I feel like I answered this question poorly. So I'm going to go over it again. If you're wondering how Visual Kei fans are able to get into K-pop, a lot of these people just have a broader taste in music. So, you know, Korean pop doesn't put them off. Korean R&B doesn't put them off. And that's my answer. The reason why I was able to get into it is because I genuinely love music. I love music. I'm always looking for music to listen to. And in different languages, you know, German, French, like I said, Vietnamese. And I'm just hungry for it, you know, hungry for a different sound, hungry for something that sounds different. And then there are people who like Visual Kei who are into rock and don't like other types of music. There are many people, not even some, there are many people that stay within the genres that they're familiar with. And that's okay. That's okay. But that's the answer. Maybe some people are put off by the K-pop fandom. I think that's a viable assessment. But I also think the quality of K-pop is just decreased. I was gonna say, hey, maybe the K-pop fans are scaring off people, but if that music is good, then nobody's that scared. I just think the quality of music has went down in K-pop, along with the fandom being absolutely unbearable and horrid. So it's a combination of those two. Is it worth being there? Not really. Music's not as great as it was. And that's coming from a second gen, okay? So yes, I am biased. That's all I have to say. I'm going to catch up with YouTube comments. Maven Butterfly, hi. I'm so sorry that I have been ignoring chat. I did not realize that people would be watching me on YouTube because I've never went live before. So I'm so shocked to actually see comments. Chaos, I can say for certain, is interest that Chaos? Is that a band? Ooh, let me write that down. Chaos. I've heard of them recently. If I don't write this down now, I'm gonna forget. But I also don't want to get up and get a pen. I'm gonna get up and get a pen. Okay. Texas Banya. I was discussing, hopefully you were here when I was discussing. You were, because I think I see a comment. Were you here when I was discussing Midorikawa? I hope so. I read your comments and I'm just like, I want to talk to this person. IRL. Chaos. Okay, Chaos, I can say for certain, is interested in interacting with foreign fans. They're a really good band too that I hope more people will get into. I will check them out. Let's see, Chaos band. There was another band that that followed me on Instagram recently. They're called Ophelia, that I want to check out. I know bands will sometimes like add me just so I can listen to their music, and I will. I'll listen to your music, and if I don't like it, I'll just be silent, and a lot of times they end up unfollowing me, which is fine. I get putting yourself out there as an artist is tough, right? But I always feel bad because I'm just like, I'm happy that they add me, but then I listen to their music and I'm like, oh man, they're not going to be happy. JILUKA ain't my favorite band of all time, but I'm happy the V-Kei scene is alive and thriving. Yes, dude, JILUKA is doing wonders for Visual Kei. Wonders. And somebody responded to me because I was like, what JILUKA is doing is legendary. I think this was over on Instagram, and they were like, well, Dear on Grey did it first. And it's just like, bruh. Yes, we know Dear on Grey has went multiple places, in the world, and they've toured, but the accessibility that JILUKA is providing for fans, as far as like modern times, like modern Visual Kei times, is just so impressive. And the rate that they're doing it too, like, I don't think I've ever seen a Visual Kei band twice, and I will be going to see JILUKA a second time, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And they've been together for a while. Like when I first got into them, because at first I didn't really care for JILUKA. And then they started coming out with songs that I really liked. I personally think Senna's composing has gotten better. I will say I did like the instrumentals of their older work. So if I could combine the instrumentals from their older work with the composition of like their newer work, then it'd be great. I hope that makes sense. But JILUKA's they're just amazing. Like, even if you don't like their music, which, I mean, I get it. Metalcore is kind of gross. Metalcore is kind of gross. For me, it depends on what song it is. But if somebody's just like, oh yeah, here's a metalcore core band, I'm like, ugh, please, no more metalcore. They're doing pretty good for themselves, and I like some of their music. But yeah, I know about the Mary controversy. Kazuma Mary, they were my homemade band from 2005 to 2020. When Kenichi retired, Kaede and Hirotaka from Arashite are also in Gatocho. Oh, I remember! I should know that! I remember looking up Gatocho's band members, and I was like, one of them looks familiar. I wonder if that was a hot one. They need to release an album. I've been liking the music that Gatocho's released. They need to release a full album. I'm looking forward to that. Any suggestions for new bands to get into? Ooh. I made a video. Wait, let me read Darla's comment real quick on TikTok. I'm gonna go now because I'm getting sleepy, but you should definitely go watch it. I don't know. I'll write to you. Let me know if you prefer directly on TikTok or WhatsApp. Good night, girl. Good night. If you want to, you can explain it on WhatsApp. I will try to keep up with messages. If I do not keep up with messages on WhatsApp, don't feel weird about like double messaging me. I don't care. There's just sometimes I just mentally cannot do messaging. So you can leave a voice note if it's easier about the movie. Nope. Well, you know not to spoil things for me. You understand etiquette, unlike some of these people on TikTok. New bands, new visual Kei bands to get into. I really like Orsees, and there was like a vote for the big concert that's happening in why am I not remembering? Is it France? Is it France? Is it France? I don't know. There's a big J-Rock concert happening in Europe, and it's freaking insane. Keys is going to be there. Luke's going to be there. A whole bunch of other bands. Versailles is going to be there. And they were doing a vote to see what visual Kei bands, what smaller visual Kei bands to bring there. For some reason, the name of the concert isn't coming to mind. I even thought about going, but I don't got no money. But Orsees was one of the choices, and I was so excited. I just looked at the band choices, and I don't know if they've released the band, because I think you were supposed to pick like one. I don't know if they've released the band that won the vote, the band that's actually going to be going, but Orsees it's worth listening to. Orsees is pretty good. I like them, or like a couple of their songs. And I also like Ruru None. Ruru None, I feel like is going to be an acquired taste though. The only band that is recent that I feel like I like most of their music, that isn't really recent, they just went on hiatus and came back, is Mami Reda. Mami Reda is like amazing. And I can't brag about Mami Reda enough. They're just fantastic. Is that a suggestion? Graveyard Soil is the first Kalavinka. Is that a name of a band? Let me write that down. Actually, let me look it up because I got time. I'm not doing nothing. There is Kalavinka. Okay, I'll check them out. I've never heard of them. Yeah, I also am willing to take recommendations. But I've been going back and listening to older groups. I'm always just going to be listening to older groups. Or groups that I just never fully got into. I'm listening to two groups. Shazna, which I never really listened to because I thought their music was a bit too light for my taste. But I want to do a review on them. I was doing like the J-Rock ABCs, and I realized that I am not a functioning individual who can do things in order without losing interest. So I'm just going to start doing the letters randomly. I was doing E. I was working on the E part of the video, like bands that start with the letter E. And I did a whole review on Esprit d'Air, and the video just corrupted, like it stopped working, which is my fault for pirating software. That's my fault. So I had a couple videos break. I had that video that just completely broke, and I was like, I'm not filming that again. So I was doing Esprit d'Air. They're not a visual Kei band, but I was like, I'm going to put it out anyways. The video broke, and I was just like, you know what? I just can't do this. And since then, that series has been on a hiatus. But I'm thinking about doing visual Kei ABCs out of order and just doing different letters based on the bands I feel like reviewing. So Shazna and what's the name of that? Schwartzstein, I think. Both of them. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Schwartzstein. Those are the two bands that I'm going to be reviewing for S, and I really like Schwartzstein. They're really, really good. Like their music is like my ideal. Like I like Darkwave a lot, but I never really dived into it besides like Oro Vampire, which I feel like is like surface level. And maybe some of like DJ Season stuff, but it's so beautiful. Like I'm thrilled to be reviewing Schwartzstein's music. And let me see. Let me first make sure I'm saying it correctly, Sometimes I get a little nervous. I'm on here. I'm like, oh my God, am I saying the band's name correctly? Are people going to attack me and be like, that's not how it's pronounced? Schwartzstein, yeah. Oh, this album, Demigod, oh my God, so good. So good. Like, I was in my car coming out of work, and when I turned it on, and I was just like, this is so heavenly. And, you know, when I'm going home from work, I'm passing fields, and I live in the country, so it's like I'm passing fields, and there's cows, and the windows are down, and the wind's blowing, and I'm just like, this is like peak life experience right now. The music is good. Schwartzstein is pretty good. Boy D, I kind of want to ask your opinion on this band, but they're low-key embarrass me sometimes. What band is it? If you're still here, I don't know if you're here. Wait, if it's there's two bands I can think of that people ask me about all the time, and I just don't care for them. They're what's that type of visual kei that's like really popular with the younger generation right now? I can't think of it. I don't keep up with like the different types, but the AI. Oh God, I hate this freaking AI on TikTok. Anyways, I was saying something and I forgot. Let me read the comments. Yeah, I'm doing my series, my visual kei. Men had a K. Not a fan. And a lot of the bands, the Gallo. I was listening to the Gallo. Okay. I want to go on a rant, but I want to make sure it actually makes sense. So, let me look up the band real quick to make sure I have my information correct. I'm pretty sure that is the band that one of my mutuals asked if I listened to, or he said it was one of his favorite bands. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I'll listen to them. And when I listened to it, it was so good that I was just like, okay, I cannot listen to this music passively. The Gallo is actually one of the bands I was supposed to review in Visual Kei ABCs. Because the music was so good, I was blown away. So I was like, okay, we have to reserve listening to the Gallo for when I can properly review them. So I put them on hold, although I do have a song on my playlist that I listen to all the time from them. But I only allowed myself to listen to that one song. And I'll tell you guys what that is. But I was listening to them the other day and I was just like, I can't wait till I can review them, which is why we're doing the Visual Kei ABCs out of order, because I can't just keep waiting for bands. If you guys know any bands that start with the letter E, help me out, please, because all the bands I've listened to, I've not been interested in reviewing. Like, there was an older band called Eins Veer or something like that, and I liked the music, but I didn't really care for the vocalist. And then I felt bad, and I was like, I can't make a video about that because that's like a throwback group, right? That's like an older, really well-respected Visual Kei group. I'm not going to make a video about not liking them. It's not going to happen. Okay, come on, the Gallo. Which song is it? I hope the title's not in Japanese, or this is going to be like... I'm just scrolling through my V-Kei playlist right now. Hoshikuzu is the song that I really like by them. Yeah, dude, this album, gotta love this song. This album, like, I want to listen to their music so bad, but I'm holding off. So my first impression of the Gallo, very positive. Tried listening to it, and I was just like, not only is this music good, I need to take a step back, and I can't listen to this passively. Like, I need to be in a headspace where I can fully digest what I'm listening to, because I really, really like it. Specifically, the emotion in the vocalist's, the emotion in his singing. And I also watched a PV that they came out with. Even though I said I wasn't going to touch them until I'm ready to review them. And the reason why I do that is I like to hold off on bands. Like, if I feel like I want to review a band on my channel and that they're good enough for me to review on my channel, I will hold off and not listen to them for as long as I can until I'm able to, like, review them. No, please, I need you to talk about them. Wait, you said they're controversial? Are they like... Okay, I'm gonna scroll back up. Or did you say... What? embarrassed? Are they controversial or like they're embarrassed? Why are they embarrassing? I have no idea who Velvet Eden is, but I'll write it down. What kind of music do they make though? Because if it's like bouncy electronic stuff, I'm just so tired of it. Velvet Eden. Or is that a name? Is that a name of a song or is that a band? Because Velvet Eden does sound like a Visual Kei band name, doesn't it? You gotta look at it. Okay, all right. They first started with Darkwave. They transitioned to rock. Wait, we're talking about the Gallo? Oh, dude, you got me scared. Oh, there's multiple things. Velvet Eden. Okay. All right, cool. I'll check them out. First of all, I am making an effort at some point. You know, when my life gets a little bit less chaotic, I'm making an effort at some point to explore Darkwave more thoroughly. I almost got there when I was younger. I almost dived into it, but again, just surface level stuff like Oral Vampire and DJ Season and a couple of other. There's the Tokyo Dark Castle album that I really liked. There's another band called they have a name. They have a song on that album. I can't. Baal. Oh, I love that song. Baal, Baal. There's a whole bunch of groups that I want to listen to, and I do want to do a deeper dive into Darkwave in this part of my life to the point where I can become more like educated about it, because I really love the music. The music sounds good. It sounds so good. Oh, has electric never been your cup of tea? It depends. The combination of electric with rock, I'm very particular about it. Very particular. Like even when it comes to I prefer them not diluted. Like, I feel like a lot of bands don't do the combination of electronic music and rock music very well. So yeah, that's my main issue. When it comes to like just pure electronic and pure rock, I prefer them separate. But if you're going to mix them together, it can get ugly very quick. The music can get ugly and atrocious very quick. So that's my big issue. But I do like electronic music. I do like rock. And as far as like mixing, it just depends on how the songs are composed. Sometimes groups are like really good at it. And sometimes they're not. A lot of times it just ends up sounding overdone. A lot of Visual Kei groups that do the mixing of the electronic and rock, it just sounds overdone. Like you're doing too much. The Senketsu Aqua-chan shade. Listen, Senketsu Aqua-chan is exactly what I was talking about when I was just like, there are a couple bands that are always mentioned to me that I don't like talking about. And that was one of them. But Darkwave band, oh my god, I'm looking at two chats at the same time. I didn't expect people to be on my YouTube chat, so I'm sorry for neglecting you guys. I just didn't expect you to be here. So Velvet Eden used to be Darkwave, transitioned to rock. So I will check them out, because I've never heard of them, and I'm always down. Ooh, that could be the group that I listen to for when I'm doing my letter V. So we may be able to do that. But the group that I plan on reviewing sooner rather than later, the two groups, I'm planning on doing episode S soon. After I make, oh my god, I'm losing my voice. I haven't talked this long in a while. There's two videos I'm working on right now, so it's going to be a while. I have to get a video out about Aoi from the Gazette. And I've been writing it, and it's just been making me sad. So I want to put that video out before I do anything else, because I promised to after my exams were done. But it's just very lengthy, and it's not a fun topic, and it's just very depressing. So it's not like a video that I'm putting out with joy. It's a video that I'm putting out with like sadness and like a whole bunch of mix of emotions. So after the Aoi video, there's a video I'm working on about Unlove. The Unlove album that X-Love released, which is a K-pop group, because I felt like that album or that EP required a review because I enjoyed it so much. Because I still be listening to K-pop every once in a while. And when I find K-pop stuff that's impressive, like, it really blows me away. Because like I said, I don't like a lot of modern K-pop. So I was just like, okay, X-Love, you know, this is worth me reviewing. So yeah, Aoi leaving the Gazette, Unlove, EP, and then S episode where I will be reviewing Shazna and Schwartzstein. And Shazna, it's so funny. I was just like, why do people listen to this? And I listened to it and I was just like, you know, okay, all right. Okay, some of the songs are good. Okay, fine. It is a little light, but I could see why it would become popular. Shazna has some pretty good songs. Okay. YouTube chat. Midorikawa from Gosan. Yes. Texas Banga, if you're still here, I did a whole spiel. I read one of your comments where you were talking about his surgeries, his plastic surgery, that he got to the point of being like not as recognizable. And I felt the same way. Gosan released a video and I thought they had changed vocalists. I literally thought they changed vocalists. I was like, oh, when did Gosan change vocalists? And then I got your comment. Somebody in the comments was talking about him in that video. And then I realized it was him. And I was like, oh my God, what did you do with your face? It was perfect. It was the most beautiful face that, what? Why did you do that? And I always thought he had like, you had such a nice, you had such a beautiful, distinct face. He had one of the most distinct faces in Visual Kei. And I always thought he was so beautiful. And he looks fine now, but he looks like just another Visual Kei dude. Like, just looks like another Visual Kei dude. But yeah, I talked about that a lot at the beginning of the video. And I don't want to put people through that a second time, but catching up. Okay, yes, Runone isn't my thing musically, but they are so fun live. The singer I have seen headbanging while hanging upside down over the barrier. Oh, I love them so much, and I can't wait for them to release more music. And I'm happy to hear that they are active and well and like performing and stuff, because I always get really worried when I like these bands, and I don't hear a lot of foreign fans talk about Runone, which is fine, because I do think Runone's music, especially because it incorporates Japanese elements like music elements, I do think Runone is more of an acquired taste. I like the catchiness of a lot of their songs, so they've stuck with me, right? But I'm happy to hear like what's happening on that side and that they're doing well, because I think they're so cool. I remember I hopped on one of their lives one time and I was just like, coming here to show love from America. And they were just like, oh, it's just like, welcome. And they were like, we are Visual Kei. And I was just like, yeah, I know. I didn't say it in there. I was like, yeah, I know. I love you so much, even though you don't know I exist. And it made my day. They're so friendly and they're so great. I love Runone. But again, I won't suggest them to like everybody just because, you know, I do think it's an acquired taste. They thought you were a clueless fan. Literally, they're like, we are Visual Kei. It was just like, oh, I know about you. I've been listening to you on Spotify nonstop. They're the one album that they have. But they're so friendly, and I wish the best for them. I think they have more members, and then there's only 2 of them now. They just look so cool. I love them. They need to make more music. I say that to everybody. Make more music. You want to make me happy? Me specifically, make more music. Okay. I'm writing these down, Texas Banya, so I can listen to these groups, because I also need groups to listen to that I haven't heard before. Let me see. Or I could take a screenshot and not have to write anything. Let's do this the lazy way. Can I take a screenshot, or am I going to mess up the live? This isn't... Dude, I don't like Apple products, but I'm telling y'all, this iPad, one of the best choices I've ever made buying this thing. I am definitely an Apple hater, but this thing is amazing. I'm like, yo, I can actually just go live on my iPad. And I had that revelation yesterday. I've had this iPad for like 6 years. What's my favorite V-Kei subgenre right now? Anything that sounds, are you talking about fashion wise? Are you talking about the fashion categories? Like Minheta? I don't have one. But I can look up. I don't have one because I don't memorize like the different fashion subgenres because I don't particularly care. But and I'm learning them through you guys. Like through the younger generation, they keep up with that more than I used to. I used to just call every band Visual Kei or Oshare-Kei. Those two categories. And nothing else. But I did dive and look at like the different types, the different subgenres of Visual Kei, and I did find the one that I'm attracted to the most. Mook would be considered. Mook and Plastic Tree, I think, both fall under it. Mook subgenre. You guys will probably get it faster than me, because like I said, I haven't memorized that. Bruh, I can only fit so many things in my brain. Is it Edoguro? Edoguro? It's another one. It's not that one. There's another one I'm looking for. I feel like they weren't. Mishitsu Kei. That one. Yes, you got it. Tacos. Yes, that one. I tend to gravitate towards Mishitsu Kei more than anything, which would be nice if I remembered what it's called. But many of the bands that stand out to me tend to be Mishitsu Kei bands, which I don't know what is the meaning of Mishitsu? I only know the song by Bucktick. Mishitsu. Meaning. What does it mean? Locked room? Chamber? Sealed chamber? It refers to a room that cannot be entered or exited, typically locked from the inside. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, Mishitsu Kei. If anybody wants to know what I'm mostly drawn to, it's Mishitsu Kei. And I remember a while back, I was just like, man, people are talking about all these different types of Ks, like Kote Kei. I mean, that one has stuck because I've seen that so often. There's certain Ks I remember, certain ones I don't. I was like, maybe I should try to learn them. And then I realized, wait, this is actually helpful. Knowing these is actually helpful because I was able to correlate like which bands I tend to be drawn to, Mishitsu Kei. And then I forgot everything. And I was like, we're not doing this again. So yeah, Minheta Kei stands out because that's what a lot of the younger generation is into. So it's a little bit easier to remember, even though I sometimes say Minheta Kei. And then Kote Kei for obvious reasons. That's been around. Edoguro, although I'm reminded of like fashion outside of Visual Kei when I think of Edoguro stuff. Was there anything else here? Akai Yurei. I gotta make sure. Akai Yurei. Okay, I wrote that down. Kaya. Yes, Kaya's just amazing. I love Kaya. Minheta, Darkwave Band. I wish we could have a community Discord or something like that because it would make it easier to find cool artists, new and old. I will definitely have to check out Runone. Bucktick Forever. Oh, Bucktick Forever. Dude. Oh, it just makes me sad thinking about like all these older groups and them losing members. I thought about making a Discord. I talked about it on TikTok before. I'm gonna turn to TikTok, and Dick. Wow, I'm so immature. Discord. Sorry, I need a minute. What am I, 6 years old? Discord is such a responsibility. Like, my brothers are on Discord all the time. And it's a big part of their lives. And it's just like, Discord is very, I don't want to say invasive. But the platform, Discord is one of those things you do if you wanted to take up a huge chunk of your life. Like as far as like starting a Discord or like engaging with Discord. I don't know how to explain it, but my brothers are like really big into Discord, and I thought about making a Discord a while back, not only for Visual Kei, but for anime and just for all the stuff, just a Discord for all of these different things. Then I went through the conundrum of like, is it going to be 18 plus? Because I do be watching a lot of spicy stuff and wanting to share spicy stuff. So I was like, should it be 18 plus? Should I make two? One that's okay for like younger people to be in, because I know there's a lot of younger Visual Kei fans, and then one that's okay for like 18 plus to be in. And then I just realized, hey, it's a bit disruptive. Like the Discords I'm in, disruptive. The people are great. It's just, I don't want to be into technology more than I already am. And I'm saying that to TikTok because I actually made a promise that I would start a Discord, and I never did. And I know there's people, they were like, oh, I'll help. I'll do this. I'll do that. And then I never brought up the idea again. So I feel bad. So yeah, I don't think I'll make a Discord anytime soon until my life gets less chaotic and I'm able to give my attention to it. We even had some ideas. Darla was here earlier. I was like, we could watch Sex in the City in Discord and like watch movies. There's a VTuber that I follow, and he does movie nights where everybody watches movies. And I'm like, I wish I could do that, but I don't have the bandwidth, guys. Like I like talking to people in person, and I love the reason why I'm gonna start doing lives on YouTube is because I like talking and engaging with people, and I don't get many opportunities to do that in person, even though I'm extroverted and I prefer to do it in person. So I gotta talk to a screen, but it is draining because I'd prefer not to talk to people through technology. Like on going back to YouTube, sometimes I read you guys' comments and it's just like, bruh, I could just be right there talking to you guys and this would go way better. But then I'm typing and I don't like it. Like you can ask my friends when it comes to text messaging and all that ish. I hate it. I don't like doing things through a computer. I don't like doing things through a phone. I don't like doing it at all. I would much prefer to be in a group of like Visual Kei fans or anime fans talking in person. And it's funny because they always say introverts are better at the online, like starting channels and stuff, and sitting in their room alone and talking than extroverts. And I agree. Like, I can't stand it. Sometimes I'll read a message and I'll be like, no response that I'm going to give is going to be as heavy and as heartfelt as what I want to say. Like, and I'm also a dry messenger. Like, sometimes I feel like my messages, the tone of my messages are a lot meaner than what I actually am, or a lot colder than what I actually am. 'Cause I'm a very lighthearted person, guys. And then sometimes I be reading my stuff back and I'm just like, who is that? That's not me. Dude, when the news about Shinya's passing came out, it made me very sad. Maven Butterfly. Yeah, me too. I was saying at the beginning of this live that I didn't find out. I was doing exams and I was stressed because of schoolwork. And I didn't find out about his passing until like maybe a week after. And I just felt like, I felt devastated, but I also felt bad not being able to keep up with the news because, like, that's a major hit. Like, I love Lunacy. Like, I love them. And then when I found out the news, I just was not in the headspace to talk about it. I just kind of put my head down, went back into my work, and I was just like, I'm just so tired of this. Like, I don't know. Like, death in general is very sad. And it just... I don't want to say this year just seems to be going poorly, but it just seems to not be going very well for a lot of different people. I also talked about Shinichiro, the drummer of The Pillows, also passed away. Although that's a little bit more recent. It's just sad. But yeah, when I found out, I just was sad all day. I was just like, bruh, not only did he pass away, like I'm late to the news that he passed away. And I know that's stupid, but I just felt like the least that I could have done is know the information sooner. Which I understand is stupid, but it still made me feel very, very sad. Let me see. Okay, let me catch up. For me, it became easy to memorize the subgenres by making playlists of the bands. Maybe I should do that. all of the different K's besides the Minheta K. You can just keep that up, which is crazy because isn't Mamireta they're Minheta K, right? Give me a second. I need to look this up. I love them. That's like some of the best music I've heard in a long while. Yeah, they are Minheta K, aren't they? Minheta Slop. Like, dude, I just don't. I am a fan, Vicky, of Lunacy. Matter of fact, I bought this recently. I'm gonna do a. Oh my god! Don't fall, please. I'm gonna do a haul at some point. Once I get some CDs. I ordered some CDs because I'm doing a collaboration with J-Rock fans, and I have to make a video about it. And I ordered a whole bunch of Visual Kei CDs, so I'm gonna do a haul, and this is gonna be a part of the haul. But I got this recently. I have not opened it. It's their 2000 Brand New Chaos Act 2 in Taipei. Specifically, I saw this concert on YouTube, and I was just like, I need to have that. Specifically, the one where they went to Taiwan, because they had another act in Japan, but the Taipei one, I just need to see. I need to see this one specific. I haven't opened it yet because I just like, you ever just fawn over stuff? Like, I don't know if it's showing up on YouTube, but I just need to just fawn over it. And I also don't have a DVD player because mine broke. It broke, and then I had to open it up and like dig my Kizu CD out of there, and then I was traumatized. I didn't want to use it again, so I got to get another DVD player. But I have this, and then I also got this because some beautiful soul was selling it. So this is my favorite band ever, in the entirety of ever. If you know me, I talk about them, and I always say the same thing. I love them. There is no band that I will love more than this one, ever, in the history of ever. Ever. Yeah, dude. So I got this. I still have not watched this yet because I don't have a DVD player, so there's not much I can do about that. One of my brother's friends said he was going to buy me a DVD player because he gave me some CDs. He burned me some CDs, so he's like, oh, if you're going to listen to it, I'm going to get you a DVD player so you can kill two birds with one stone. He went to Japan recently, and he was just like, if you're going to be gathering DVDs, you need to have a DVD player. I know, mine broke. And that Kizu DVD-ish was a scare. I was just like, please, no! This is like, I think it's their like second or third one-man. And I love that. I love that ish. Like, don't get me wrong. Kizu be getting on my nerves sometimes. More so, Kirosuke, some of his fashion choices. But I love Kizu. And I love those DVDs. I have like 2 lives from them. Am I a fan of Lunacy? Yes. How big is your collection? Very small. Very small. Very small. I was gonna... Bro, that's another thing. Okay, I don't know why I thought these were CDs. This is actually Sayuki. I don't think I've watched these either. This is something completely different. I'm sorry. I just saw it and I was like, oh yeah, I do have this. I don't have a DVD player, so I can't watch it. I grew up watching Sayuki and I liked it. I don't know where my CDs are. I think it's in my cousin's room. But my collection is very small, which is why I'm starting to collect now. There were 2 points in my life where I lost everything I owned. So I used to have a okay collection, but I lost everything. And every time I think of that, I think of my Zelda games. I had like all the Zelda games that came out on GameCube. And then I had my laptop that was full of just categorized BL by artist name. And I had thousands of files. Just gone. And family photos, because, those are important too. But thousands of files. Just gone. So yeah, I had to restart my collection. And I restarted with, in the beginning, buying 2 Kizu lives. Back when Kizu was a little bit fresher. I thought they were so cool. I was like, they perform really well live. This will be the first live I ever buy from any band ever with my adult money. Yeah. So once I get a better collection as far as like size wise, I'll do a little show. But there are albums and bands I talk about. Sometimes I feel a little boring because all the groups I like, I talk about them, the same groups all the time. Like freaking Nine Goes Blackout, Sadi, Mook. Like, I will continue to talk about the same groups all the time. I need to talk about LMC. Somebody asked me to make a video about LMC. I probably should talk about them. Ancient BO scripts lost and Angel lost his wings. Yes. When I tell you I had the mother load and like, it makes me so mad because I memorize all the artists' names and I knew their art style immediately upon seeing like any cover of any book. I immediately knew which artist it was and it was fabulous. I had a very rich teenagehood. I guess it's because I was able to download things like Manga Traders was a site where you could download manga directly to your laptop, and I was spoiled. That's where I read Attack on Titan when it first came out. Like, it was just like amazing. And then obviously the site got shut down because that's illegal. Like, they were like, yo, what do you mean you could download like manga directly to your computer? But there were so many gems. That's how I discovered Claymore. I think I was reading Gons on there too. Lots of lost scripts. Lots of lost stuff in general. But it's okay. Like, it was only up from there. Like, one of the worst things that could ever happen is you losing all your stuff. So, I'll be fine. We're fine. Just traumatized. Oh my god. HB Ceiling Fan. Hello. Do you do Ceiling Fan reviews? Why's that your name? I can understand TikTok because they be having weird names. Like, what's the hot guy in the suit that was in the tub in JJK? Hiduguma? Or is it Higuruma? Higuruma? I don't know. But somebody had his name and they were like his armpit hairs. And I was like, bruh, what do you guys, what's your problem? Like, you're not worried about how you represent yourself online? Like, people can see you. They do it with Visual Kei bandmen too. They'll be like, Hide's sweaty, I gotta choose my words wisely, sweaty pants or something like that. And I'm like, first of all, put some respect on Hide's name. Second of all, what is your problem? like, do you not care? Let me see. Neroze Otaku. Hello. Do you have 5 favorite? Bruh, I do have 5 favorite Visual Kei bands, but when I tell you I'm boring, I'm boring. I don't want to say their name again, so I'm going to get the DVD. No, you know what? I will say their name. I'm going to say it in Japanese, so I can be less embarrassed about it. So, Rien Toruan Soi is my first favorite band ever. And there's no band that's ever going to replace this. There is one band that I have an interest in that reminds me a little bit of them. And they're Diva Ed. Texas, Banya. I would like to know if you've heard of Diva Ed. And if you have, what you think about them. Because I think they're incredible. They just need to come out with some more goddamn music because you've been together for 10 plus years. Like, what are you doing? Why do you only have singles? Diva Ed is more modern, but this is my number 1 favorite band of all time. Nothing's going to top this. I don't even expect anything to top this. And nothing will be able to top that, maybe even out of spite. I will be like, oh, you could never be... If another band comes out and they're amazing, I'll be like, you can never be my favorite band because then this will no longer be my favorite band. Second is Nine Goes Blackout. I don't think I'll ever part with them. I don't listen to them as much anymore, but when I do, it's just like a spiritual experience. Mook, mostly their older work. Muku, I feel like their older work. I'll just never get tired of it. Third, Sadi. I used to call him Sadie for years. I don't even think I'm saying Sadi. Is it Sadi? Sadi? However you pronounce them. That's my other one. Ooh, okay, we're getting a little... I have to think. Oh, maybe this can get a little complicated. I really like Zaza right now. But I feel like if I were to look at my list of favorite groups, I would be forgetting some. I don't want to say Lunacy and I don't want to say Bucktick, even though I love them dearly. But I've been listening to them a lot recently, and I feel like it's time to choose something different this time. Zaza, probably. Yeah, probably Zaza. And last one is Mamirata. I really like Mamirata. Their lyricism really isn't my thing, but I'm enjoying their music so much. And like Bue, even Bue, I listen to a lot of Bue's music, and it's just so great. Like I'm having a good time. I know there's a whole bunch of other bands I'm forgetting, but we'll leave it there. I was gonna say Kizu was my favorite for a while. I made so many videos about Kizu. If you've been with me for a long time, you know I was really, really into Kizu. Like around when they first, I think a year or two after they first came out, I was like, this is everything. But they haven't released anything that I've liked so far. They haven't released anything that's caught on for me. I did like RAD a little bit. But, those are my faves. And it'll be like that for a long time. The first 3 bands aren't changing. Rien Todo Ansoi, Night Goes Blackout. I don't know if it was Muck or Sadi. But those 4, I guess. Those 4 aren't changing. I'm taking notes on all the bands mentioned. Yay! Again, I that makes me happy because I feel like a broken record. Everybody asks me and I'm just like, bro, I'm not going to have a new favorite band in the next 5 years, probably. It'll probably be the same people. And sometimes it switches. Like sometimes if I revisit a group, they'll come to mind a little faster. Like while I was thinking of my favorite bands, I was like, well, what about Girugamesh? I would say Girugamesh is the band that I bought the most CDs from. Speaking of them, I bought a CD from them recently. Actually, it was on sale on eBay for like a really, I bidded on it. Like, I placed a bid on eBay for the CD to purchase it. And it was one of their really old albums, even before their self-titled album. Yeah. I love Girugamesh, but I love them, but the love isn't like strong presently for me to say they're on my top 5. Even though I may feel differently a week from now, 2 weeks from now, I should revisit them. I do plan on buying a live from them though. There are certain bands that I want to purchase lives from specifically. Girugamesh is one of them. Oz is another one. I'm looking for an Oz live DVD, and I think I might have found a way to get one, and I'm super excited about it. Like, they only released, I think, like 1 live. It's either 1 live on DVD or 2. I don't remember. But the second one may be a different version of the first live. I don't know, but I'm getting my hands on that. Oz is fantastic. Okay, I have a class in a few minutes, but I've been considering posting live report videos recently. Any chance I can reach out and pick your brain? Absolutely. Oh my God, I will support you completely. And I think it's fantastic because you're really knowledgeable and you're actually like there to see the groups. I will shout out you frequently so you can get people to watch you as well, Texas Banya. Absolutely. I think it's a fabulous idea. Live report videos, that'd be fantastic, especially for you. Like I said, you're more caught up, and I think people would like to see somebody who is a lot more closer. I always say if like you're in Japan and you're able to see these bands and go to their concerts and like talk with them and stuff, start posting. Start posting, because we want to know, we fans, there's only so much I can like communicate, even talking to other people, you know, there's only so much I can do. I'm not there, you know, so my perspective is only going to be from a foreign fan overseas. So I think it's a fabulous idea. I hope you're still here. I will definitely support you in that, and you can pick my brain anytime you want to. I would love that. And I may pick your brain and be like, so hey, what do you think about this group, and this group, and this group? Have you seen this group live? Like, I'm really happy that you've seen Rumonone, because I don't hear anybody talk about Rumonone ever. So, other than talking to them on live, you know, you're the second interaction with anything Rumonone related. I've been on for an hour and 49 minutes. Look at me. I said I was going to go to sleep, and I'm not falling asleep. Have you ever been a Dear on Grey girly? No. Somebody asked in the beginning of the stream if I can review. Matter of fact, I'll reread the comment. And I feel bad because this is somebody that I really like. They comment on like a lot of my YouTube videos, off topic, but I had a fun idea for you if you want. Dear on Grey is releasing a new album soon, and I was wondering if you would do a review, please, or even better, a discography tier list mini review on all the albums, including the new album. They are my favorite Visual Kei band. Good taste. And I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'm sure lots of others would love to as well. I'm sending this to you guys. One of you guys needs to do a Dear on Grey album tier list, because for me, Dear on Grey was too intense. I never got into them, with the exception of a few songs. I like The Final, I like Kodol, and I like Umbrella. I think musically, sound-wise, Dear on Grey is a perfect fit. But thematically, I don't like really dark stuff, and I just think they're really good at doing dark, gruesome stuff. I don't like dark, gruesome stuff. And the other bands have been able to do it, but just not as... I wouldn't say they're not as good as it. I think Dear on Grey is just good at what they do. So my early experience with Dear on Grey, I was listening to a song. I'll actually see if I can try to find the song since you're here with me. I listened to a song. I tried them. This had to be when I was like 11 or 12 years old. This was my first interaction with Dear on Grey's music. There was a song that they had, and the lyrics were really off-putting, and I thought it was gross, and I was like, oh, I'm not into this. So for years, I just didn't listen to Dear on Grey. I was like, okay, that's not my cup of tea. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so let me see. Dear on Grey lyrics. Agitated screams of maggots. That was my... Ew. Agitated screams of maggots was my first interaction with Dear on Grey, and they said, I'll grape your daughter on your grave. That was what put me off. And then I think there was another part of the song that was like, let me see, lyrics. Agitated screams of maggots. Lyrics. There was another thing in there that made me not a fan of this. Oh, maybe it was in a different song. There might have been two songs that put me off from Dear on Grey. But yeah, that was my first interaction with them, and I was just like, oh, no. And it wasn't like a video where, because a lot of Japanese songs don't come with like lyrics, but Agitated Screams of Maggots, like the song was subbed. So I was just watching it, and I was like, oh, this seems pretty intense. And then I saw that line, and I was like, well, that's going to be a hard no for me. So I shut the browser, and I never, ever, ever listened to Dear on Grey. I would say probably for like several years after that. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I keep hearing about them, and anytime I get like a small tidbit of their music, their sound appeals to me. Just what they talk about and what's in the music videos and all. Thematically, they're not a good match for me. I don't like dark. I don't like gruesome. I don't like any of that stuff. And if I do listen to that stuff, it's in doses. Like Sadi, I always say, was my version of that. And I hate comparing them, but that's what everybody was saying when Sadi first came out. They were just like, what is this? A lukewarm Dear on Grey? And I was like, I love it. Bring it. Huge fan of this. So sometimes I say Sadi was my Dear on Grey. I love them so much. And they had some pretty intense stuff, but in the beginning, like, what is it? They had one song that I just didn't like at all, because it was a little bit too much for me as well. What is it? What's that song? Saudi first single. Why am I saying that as if Google's not gonna pull up something else entirely? With Saudi Visual Kei. There was one song I didn't like by them either. I was like, this is a little bit much. And they had a music video for it. So I think something was coming out of his mouth. I was like, oh, not for me. Something was coming out of Miles' mouth. I don't know. I don't want to bore you guys. Oh yes, they're probably the perfect conception of dark themes and morbid topics. Yes, and I do think it takes a lot of talent. I do admire them for all that they've done for Visual Kei. And like I said, I think the music sounds good. It's just not a match. And I've read interviews because I was fascinated. I went through a period, I think, when I discovered Kodo and discovered the final, where I was just like, dang it, man. Which those are lighter in comparison. I know Kodo isn't exactly like the most lightest topic, but in comparison to their other work, there's like far darker stuff. But when I found Kodo in the final, I was like, I want to know more about them, even though I may not be able to dive into their music like I would want to, because their music's too much for me, right? So I started reading hella interviews, and Kyo mentioned that he prefers to sing about darker stuff. Like, he's fascinated with it. He loves it. He's enamored by it. He prefers it. And I was like, that's the opposite of me in every way. And I was like, whatever you're doing a good job. Also, you're really hot. Yeah, I think I have a lot of respect for them, but no, people ask me about them all the time, because I do talk about them. I'll be like, oh, Toshiya this, and Kyo that, and Guy this, because I keep up with what they talk about in, like, their interviews, but I did listen to the most recent album, because the person asked me to, and I was just like, oh, I guess. So I went to Marshall's, and I put them on while I was shopping at Marshall's. And none of the songs on the newer album stuck out to me. But I did mention that even though they have a darkness over their music, they also kind of, I guess it's just because of Kyo's vocals, there's like a softness that is there too. I had a really hard time explaining it earlier, but there's like a softness that still exists with the darkness. And I don't know how to articulate it. I think it's just because of Kyo's vocals being the way it is, or maybe the way the music's composed. I don't know. You guys gotta get, okay. These are limited edition blueberry Kate's cookies. You guys should get these. I made a video because they had they had a different flavor, and I bought like 7 bags. I was not playing. I was like, oh, limited edition. That's because I'm going to buy all of them. Oh yeah, they're going to be limited for other customers because I'm about to buy this whole show. But they're just really good at what they do. And I am shocked. I am even shocked that I'm not a Deer on Grey fan, because I always say, like, musically they sound beautiful to my ears. Like, their music is appealing to me when I listen to it. But I just, like, I'll listen to, like, Sukekiyo. Yeah, I'll listen to Sukekiyo, and I'll be like, oh, I can hear Kyo's voice. And then there's a song I was talking about earlier called Zesai that I really, really like, with SUGIZO. It was composed by SUGIZO, because I've been listening to SUGIZO's albums all over Spotify. Like, he is just so much of Luna Sea, which this is obvious, you know, of course, so much of Luna Sea is SUGIZO. Like, his essence is just all over Luna Sea. And when you listen to, like, his work, like SUGIZO's album specifically, you can just, he has such a strong impression. I gotta be careful talking about him, because that old man's so hot to me. I'll be good. Have you listened to Glay? A very, very long time ago. But I'm gonna write this down because I forgot Glay existed. I think I have a picture of Glay in my photo bucket. I don't remember what they sound like, though. So I'm gonna write that down because I forgot Glay existed. Pretty sure they used AI They mentioned stuff. Yeah, they... Wait, in the album? Nothing. You're not talking about the Devil in Me, Devil Inside, Devil in Me. See, I forgot I was talking about this track earlier, and I literally forgot. They did a video about a serial killer. I'm sure you guys will remember the title better than me. And they used AI in it, and then they also used AI for some promotional art. But they used AI in the album, like in the music. Because if they did that, that's gonna make me sad. Glay was too pop rock for me personally. Yeah, not a fan of pop rock. I'm very picky about my pop rock, so I don't know if I'll like it, but I'll check them out. I did like the way they looked, though. If I remember correctly, I think Glay looked very cool. And I would say some stuff is coming back to me. Oh my god. I think Glay was one of the more popular bands. Like, they gained popularity even outside of the Visual Kei space, if I'm not mistaken. Only pop rock I really like is Shazna and Fanatic Crisis. Fanatic Crisis I've never heard of. Is that a Visual Kei band? I know Shazna, I mentioned before, I've been reviewing. I was listening to their best album. Oh, Sukekiyo. I like Sukekiyo. Graveyard Soil. I like Sukekiyo's music. And it feels like lighter. And obviously, I do like the fact that not only is Uta in there, there's also one of the members from is it Takumi? I'm pretty sure one of the members from Rien Todo on Soy is also in Sukekiyo, which is why I ended up listening to them, because I was like, okay, so you have one member from my favorite band ever, and then you have another member from my second favorite band ever, and they're both in Sukekiyo. So I'm gonna listen to Sukekiyo. I broke. In comparison to Dear on Grey, I broke. I was like, okay, we're gonna have to check this out. And then Kyo is the vocalist, which Kyo has always had beautiful vocals. I've always loved his voice. I feel like he's like the ideal. So that's why I ended up listening to Sukekiyo, because I was like, there's too many amazing people. Takumi also composed like a lot of Rien Todo on Soy songs. Not a lot. He composed some Rien Todo on Soy songs, so I was curious about his contribution to Sukekiyo. So yeah, that's why I ended up listening to them. I like Sukekiyo. I feel like it's softer and easier for me to digest. And anytime Dear on Grey comes on, when I'm in my car, like if there's like a shuffle I'm on like a Visual Kei shuffle, as soon as I hear Kyo's voice, I'm like, ah. I'm like, okay, is Dear on Grey playing? Or is something else playing? Sukekiyo playing? What's playing? Because lyrically, I need to know what they're talking about. I just really think my relationship with Dear on Grey is the way it is because of my first impression from them. Because there are some bands I don't do that with. I have so many. Fanatic was called, one of the four heavenly kings of V-Kei, along with Malice, Shazna, Lacrima Christie? Lacrima? See, look at me. Lacrima. Is it Lacrima Christie or Lacrima? I'm gonna say Lacrima. Somebody recommended I listen to them, and I listened to I'm talking about Lacrima Christie. I hope it's Lacrima. Help me, Tacos. Is it Lacrima? Lacrima. I just need to know if I'm pronouncing the Lacrima Christie. I'm gonna say Lacrima Christie. I just need to know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Somebody recommended them to me. They asked if I'd ever listened to them. There were a lot of bands that were old that I just ignored completely, and then I had a span of time in high school where I regained interest in older bands. Bucktick was one that stuck. Lunacy was one that stuck. I think I do remember listening to Lacrima Christie, but I don't remember my impression of them. I did, however, listen to their music recently because one guy on YouTube was saying that that was his favorite. That was his soul band. I was talking about soul bands. And I was like, oh, Rien Todo Soy is my soul band. And he was like, oh, Lacrima Christi is my soul band. And I was just like, okay, let me check them out. I checked them out at one point. I don't remember my impression. Their music's really nice. Their music's very pretty. So I made that a band that I'm going to review on my channel as well. Which means I can't listen to them until I do the letter L. But Lacrima Christi is a band that I plan on checking out. So I thought their music left a heavy impression. Enough for me to talk about them. Let me see. La Puta, Raphael. What is the first one? How do I pronounce that? Gun? G-U-N-I-W Tolls. La Puta, I think Raphael, I know I've listened to. Like that era of music doesn't stick, like La Puta, Raphael, that era of music doesn't stick as well as it used to for me. So I have to be in the mood. I don't know what specific mood, but I have to be in the mood for that. I should just go back. I'm gonna write that down. Raphael I listened to and I was just like, oh, I'm okay without that. But La Puta, I think I can visit. Especially if I'm doing Lacrima Christi, I can probably make La Puta the other group that I review. I don't know. Unless there's another L band that's more impressive. What's up, Leah? Girl, I'm about to get off of here. I'm tired. But it's good to see you. It's late. Yeah, get your beauty sleep. I'm just making sure that I did not miss any other comments. I did not. Oh my god, look at me. I'm so caught up. Look at me, I'm caught up finally. La Mule. Let's see, another one I gotta write down. There's definitely a huge gap in like the older groups. I also think to some extent, I mean, Malice Miser was even popular when I was younger. I was gonna say Malice Miser kind of overshadows like a lot of bands with like that romantic sound. Damn, but came to say hi. I'm happy you stopped by. I'm gonna be trying to go live because I'm doing YouTube live on one side and then TikTok on another side. I think I'm gonna just start doing that because I want to make videos about so many different things and it takes a lot of time. And bro, I'm tired. Like I got 3 jobs. I'm in school, not full time, part time, and then I got my little one. I got a son. I'm parenting. I'm doing a lot, dude, and I'm still broke. Where's the money going? I don't know. So there's a lot going on. And I'm just like, let me just do lives so I can talk aimlessly and not have to make individual videos about everything. So you'll be seeing me a lot more often. Hopefully you'll be able to come a little earlier. I hope you're doing well. What the heck are you doing? Mule was like a kotake band of the late 90s. They were popular in the underground scene. They used a lot of bloody band-aids and hospital aesthetics. Oh, okay. Why was I picturing something a little bit more like, I guess she's Raphael. That's what I was picturing. Something a little bit more like that. But I can just look them up. Let me see. La Mule. That one doesn't sound familiar. Ooh, they look pretty. Oh, bloody. That's not too bad though. Let me see. I'm gonna show a picture to which you guys probably already know what they look like, but I didn't. Hopefully this will show. Well, it's them. I got a whole bunch of those, you know, those I don't know if you guys can hear that because it's in the light, but I got a whole bunch of those bugs that look like ladybugs but aren't actually ladybugs. They're crawling everywhere in my room because they just get into my room somehow through the windows even though they're closed. And there's one like crawling within the light. So every once in a while it makes a sound. I'm just like checking. I'm like, oh, okay, it's not a spider. I'll live. Oh, it's not a fly. I won't be annoyed. Like I just let them crawl over my walls. I don't care. They're gonna die in like a couple days anyways. And I'd be finding their corpses like all over my floor in my room. Like, oh, there's another one. I'll go to my window and there'll be like 17 of them just crawling everywhere. They're kind of cute, but I know they're not ladybugs, so it's a little sinister, you know? Okay, let me see. Aren't those Asian beetles? Yeah, they are. I try not to think about it. I try to pretend they're ladybugs. But yeah, they're the Asian beetles. Like, very invasive. Not good. Not good to have them. Are they orange? Yeah, they're more orange than anything. Yep. Some of them feel a little bit red, but... Oh, there it is again. It's just moving in the lamp. I don't like when they move and make sounds, though. Or, like, one time I was eating downstairs. Not one time. I was eating lasagna downstairs, and then I saw one crawling, like, next to my area that I was eating at, and I was just like, I don't have the heart to kill them because they look like ladybugs. It's sinister. That's why I said it's sinister. Tacos. They use a lot of bloody band-aids and hospital aesthetics. Yes, I have a few CDs by them. Okay, look at you. Alrighty. Those gotta be rare by now, right? Because that's like an older group, so... My question is, like, when you guys get these CDs from these older groups, do you get to a point where you're just, like, you don't listen to the actual CD regularly because you're afraid of, like, scratching it? Do you keep it locked away and just keep it, like, as a collectible? Or do you, like, listen to the CDs regularly? Because nowadays, so much music is available on YouTube and Spotify. A lot of Visual Kei groups are adding more stuff onto their Spotify, which is nice. Like, Plastic Tree... Fantastic move. That's like a major one. I think even Malice Miser. Did they add their music or did somebody else? I don't remember. But a lot of groups are adding their music and I'm just like, okay, at this point, are you guys still listening to CDs? At least over on this end. Like I know Japan still has like a functioning CD marketplace, but I wonder what fans are doing with their Visual Kei CDs now. Are they putting it in a CD player? Are they listening to it? Or are they just locking it away like, I'll never touch you ever? Which I'm okay with. Some CDs like that Rien Toto on Soy DVD, I just want to keep it in the case forever. Because I've already seen everything on YouTube. I just need to have it. Just in case, I don't know, the internet breaks down in the world. The world's internet just goes out. I don't know. I was going to say something else, but I forgot. What was I going to say? I was going to talk about something a Visual Kei band, but I don't remember what band I was going to talk about. Only if they're sealed, I won't listen to them, but if they're already open, I'll frequently listen. Okay, that's reasonable. There is an album, like I said, I'm going to be doing a haul soon because I'm collaborating with JP Fans? JP Fans, yeah. I'm collaborating with JP Fans, but there's an album that I'm getting that's unopened, and I'm wondering, like, should I open it? Or should I just leave it? Because it's rare. Like, I'm not going to find it again. There's nobody who's going to be selling one that's unopened. It's just not going to happen. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that haul. There were a couple other albums I wanted to buy. I'm going to... Because with JP Fans, you have stuff you review within the collaboration, but there's stuff that I want to buy and review outside of the collaboration. And I can tell you guys what that stuff is. Lark NCL, I want to buy a couple albums from them. LA Garden, I want to buy their best album, because I think they have like a 1990 something to 2000s, mid 2000s. They have a best of album that I want to buy. And then the Pillows, I think I did end up buying the Pillows Full On Planet album. There's so many albums I want to buy. Oral Vampire. Oh, I have a whole list. I can't wait to do my little haul, but highly recommend. I know I haven't made the video yet. Highly recommend JP fans if you want to find stuff that that's harder to find. That's hard to find anywhere else. I highly recommend them. That's why I'm so happy to be working with them. I don't get the chance to work with a lot of people just because I'm always busy. I'm not able to accept collaborations or commit to them. So I'm like, oh no, I can't because I don't have time to do it. But I feel like this is going to be a fantastic resource for people who don't want to pay an arm and a leg for Visual Kei albums, because I definitely don't have the money. I don't have the money to be paying hundreds of dollars for something that is no longer in production. Okay, reasonable, fine. Hundreds of dollars, no longer in production. I get why you're selling it at that price, but buying from somebody in Japan who just wants their music to go to a good home sounds like a better deal to me. Girl, should I run? This man wants to talk, and he's a SoundCloud rapper. Hona, if you're for real and if you're not trolling, I think you should give him a chance. You know, how exciting is your life really? Listen, oh, wait. Somebody added Malice Miser. I knew it. I knew I heard something, because I'd be staying off of Twitter because I think Twitter is god awful and I don't like the quality of people on there. So I don't have a Twitter, and I do have a Twitter, but I don't use it. I was going to use it for anime stuff, but I decided I'd rather not. It's very toxic on there. And it's just stressful. Every day is a new thing to complain about. Anyways, I remember hearing, first people were excited because they were like, oh my god, Malice Miser uploaded all their stuff, and then realizing that somebody else uploaded it. First of all, people get paid for streams, and maybe not that much money, but people get paid for streams. That is crazy that somebody uploaded all their work to the platform. Like, I get that you want to listen to Malice Miser all the time, but there's enough resources on YouTube. You don't have to do that. That's ridiculous. That's crazy to me. Mana put out a statement on that. They write it as Malice Miser, not Malice Music. Oh, people, I don't like that. And I'm sure there are a pretty huge amount of really happy people will like, hey, well, at least we can listen to it now. But like, bruh, go on YouTube. It's really not that hard. Download the file. Find a YouTube to MP3 downloader. If you really need it that bad. I just think that's ridiculous. Especially because artists get paid for streams. And people are going to be listening to Malice Miser like a lot. That's really crazy to me. And just very distasteful and disrespectful. But you know, some people don't care. They just like, oh, I just want access to the music. I don't care about anything. That's annoying. That pisses me off. And it's just majorly disrespectful. Just wait till they put it on Spotify themselves, or if they don't want to, then just deal with it. It's not like you don't have access to Malice Miser's music at all, or else you would have never found them online. That same person who uploaded Malice Miser called Mama an Old Dying Man. What? And is uploading Madith Grail's music? So they're uploading more groups' music? Bro, what the heck? Mana an Old Dying Man and is uploading Madith Grail's music. That's crazy. Like, in what world can you just... Dude, that's insane. Is there any way to, like... I mean, I'm sure Mana has taken steps to try to report it, but there's gotta be a way to report that, like, mass report it. And... yeah, he's such a despicable person. I hate him so... yeah, that's insane. Like, again, I don't know how you can love an artist's music so much and just upload their music, take it upon yourself to upload their music to a platform instead of just letting them make that decision for themselves, especially a platform where you get paid for streaming. Like, they have no respect for artists. Yeah, they have no respect for artists. That's insane. And that's not so sad. Like, ugh, that's gross. And then to disrespect one of the people in the band whose music you're uploading. I'm so glad Proxy exists because eBay, Depop, and Mercari is a scam for visual. Yes, I saw one CD that was on Mercari Japan, and it was selling for $20. I went to eBay. They were selling the same CD for $120. And I get it. It's the CD's no longer being made. It's an older Visual Kei band. I understand it's rare. But listen, now we're getting more access to like Japanese websites, and it's really a beautiful thing. Like I'm so excited. I did almost spend all my money. I gotta pay for like the weight of the stuff, and I did almost spend all my money. I almost spent like several $100s on JP Fans, and I was like, okay, Savette, you need to chill. You need to draw back a little bit. I know you discovered a beautiful thing. You can buy these CDs. If you guys do decide to go to JP Fans, it's in my Beacons bio. Click my link so they'll know that I sent you. Okay, I haven't made the video yet, but I want them to be like, look at that girl. She's getting people to use our platform. I want it to look well on me. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like I would buy way more Visual Kei CDs. I would have a bigger collection if things just weren't so expensive. And what's fascinating is the fact that these bands are just like, how do I say? We see these bands and we think the world of them, but for a lot of people, they're just another band. So a lot of people move on, you know, they're no longer interested in the band, so they sell their CDs and it's just another CD to them. Meanwhile, I'm in the US and I'm just foaming at the mouth. And I'm just like, oh my God, I finally managed to get this album. You know, it's a really big deal to me because I'm not in Japan where albums cost like what, $10, $15? Like I'm not there. So for them, it's just like, just another collection that I'm passing over to somebody else to build a new one. Not for me. This is life-changing for me. Like that Rien Todo on Soy DVD that I showed you guys, that freaking Luna Sea and Taipei Chaos Tour, Chaos 2, that's a really big deal. That's life-changing for me. Even the two one-man Kizu DVDs I own, I think about them sometimes without playing them. I just think about how cool it is to own them. So yeah, I'm happy that they're creating more resources for us to access that type of stuff. And of course, there's other stuff on JP Fans too. There's like anime merc that you can buy. I found some stuff. I'm smiling because I found some Toji stuff. Toji, he's so hot. Let me not get distracted. Let me see. They're also going after people who already uploaded music videos on YouTube and getting into what? That's... Wait, the same person? You're talking about the person who uploaded the stuff onto Spotify is going after people? Or are you talking about like Malice Miser going after people on YouTube? Because, listen, I love having access to my Visual Kei music. I think it's awesome. I think it's fantastic. But if the artist goes on there and they're like, hey, I actually don't want this on there, I mean, it just sucks. Sucks to suck. And I suck. I remember a couple of stuff got removed. I think it was from Acid Black Cherry. And I was pissed. I was like, why have you done this? I was so mad. Or it's like almost like region locked. A couple of Mook stuff that I found, it was just only visible, not available in my country. I don't know how the heck they do it, but they did it. And then with Acid Black Cherry, it was just taken down completely. And I was just like, you go to your playlist on YouTube and it's just like, you know how it shows you the blank deleted videos, but it doesn't show you what exactly was deleted? It pisses me off. But it's a part of the process, dude. Like, your feelings do not override what these artists choose to do with their music. Like, where they choose to have it, if they choose to upload it to Spotify or not. Like, you don't get to make that decision for them. With YouTube, it's a little different. You know, YouTube, you do get paid, but you have to do a lot on YouTube in order to get to the point of getting paid. So I see YouTube a little differently. And I also think the intent like uploading Visual Kei music on YouTube, I think the intent is usually different. Like specifically for Visual Kei, it's like you usually just want it to be available to other people. Versus Spotify, like, I don't know. It's just, that's crazy. That's just so crazy to me. I'm sorry. Uploading all of Malice Miser's music on Spotify. It's so like, ugh. It's just a gross thing to do. I don't know. I don't like that. Okay, give me a second. Didn't they post about how much money they're making from Malice Miser's music? Yeah, I think they see themselves as some type of hero that's spreading their music. Not if you're getting paid! No. Oh my god, please don't. Please don't let me be the standard for how Rientoto Ansoi is said. Absolutely not. Okay, so listen, I don't know how to say their name the correct way, so I say it the way the band says it. So I looked at the Japanese, I looked at the katakana. Is it katakana? It is katakana over here. No, it's katakana. I looked at the katakana and I was just like, okay, at least I know how to say that. So when I say Rientoto Ansoi, it's because I'm saying it the Japanese way. You may be saying it the correct way because it is French. It's French. Which I refuse. Me and French don't mix. So I just say it that way. Somebody did leave a comment on one of my YouTube videos. They were like, now you know that's not the way you're supposed to be saying it. And I'm just like, well, actually, I just say it the way the band says it. So please do not make me the standard for saying it because I will literally explode into a million embarrassed tiny pieces. I'm very self-conscious about saying it because people were just like, what? What did you say? That's not how you say that. I know. I know. I know it's pronounced a much prettier way. I know. Now you're better than me. I haven't seen their interviews. I just listened to them. I seen like a piece of an interview where they introduce themselves. But before that, there was a YouTuber called Teppy Baka who would a long time ago I watched some of his videos. He would tell you band pronunciations. And he pronounced it in the Japanese way. And I was like, finally, I can actually like say their name. You don't know how hard it is to have a favorite band and not be able to say their name. So when he came out with that pronunciation video for different Visual Kei bands, I learned how to say many different bands' names. Like Malice Miser, I knew how to say it. Give me a second. My brain just stopped working. Because Malice Miser, there's Malice Miser. Pause. I need to go to sleep. Oh my god, it's 12:40. I have work tomorrow. Okay. I thank you guys for being on here with me. I planned on being here for an hour. And I've been on here for 2 hours and 27 minutes. And I have work tomorrow. I gotta wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna try to catch up as fast as I can with messages. Yeah, you're not a hero for spreading music if you're getting paid, and if one of the members comes out and mentions it, obviously it's made them upset too. Like the fact that Mana came out and was just like, hey, we didn't do that, and made a comment on it, like, and it just looks bad. Like especially like as being a foreign Visual Kei fan, it just looks bad. It makes us look like we have no self-control. I don't like that. Or are very entitled, you know. And that's insane. Like, you're not a hero. You're gross. Okay. The funny thing... You can... The funny things is you can find their entire discography of them on YouTube in just one video. Yes, that's what I'm saying. YouTube already is a fantastic resource. What are you doing? It's ridiculous. The guy also uploaded... Yeah, they were saying that earlier. Madith Grail. Hello. I'm about to get off here because I'm tired and I'm sad because I like your comments. You watch my Visual Kei stuff frequently. So I would love to chat. BJ, yeah, this is my man. Well, let me not pet his crotch. Love this guy. Also, I feel a sense of kinship with him, which is why he's there. That's why I got him and nobody else. It's good to see you, though. See. I'ma just say Sono. It's good to see you, Sono. Pretty sure Yamada doesn't own the rights to, I don't know how to pronounce that word, releases, since it was under a different label. So he would not be, he wouldn't be able to upload the music, is what you're saying? Because most of Malice Miser released their music through a record label that doesn't exist anymore. The AI. Oh, I hate this AI. Discussing the ethics of downloading rare V-Kei albums. Share your thoughts. I hate that thing. I can just explain to you guys myself what I'm talking about. I don't need the AI. The only way it can be taken down from Spotify is if Mana copyrights Malice, but I think he can't. Oh, damn, dude. That's awful. So there's nothing they can really do about it. Wait. Real, they're embarrassing us. Yes. We're not all like crazy people who don't care about the human beings who made the music. Like, that's insane. Okay, I'm going to sleep, guys. I did catch up with the comments, but I'm getting tired. And I gotta take this contact out of my eye, because if I fall asleep, I almost fell asleep with a contact in my eye after I went to an anime rave. And that night, I came back home. I was so tired. I almost fell asleep with that contact, and I woke up, and I was like, no! I'm already blind. I already can't see. Can you imagine? I gotta be awake enough. I have makeup on, but I'm not taking my makeup off. I'm going to go to sleep. So, thank you guys for chilling with me. Like I said, I am very shocked. I almost choked on my own spit. Okay. I am very shocked that there are people in my YouTube chat. Like, I didn't expect that. Sorry for ignoring you guys for like half of the, maybe not half, maybe like a fourth or a third of me being on here. And I guess this is doable. I guess I can talk on YouTube and I can talk here on TikTok at the same time. People in chat on TikTok, thank you for keeping me company, as you guys always do. I had this idea. I have a mutual that I call Kirong, even though they changed their name and they're no longer on TikTok. They're on Spotify now. But Kirong would always hop in my chat, and they were the ones chatting with me before TikTok got taken over by that one company whose name doesn't come to mind. They were like, hey, I'm no longer going to be here. I'm going to miss your lives. And I don't particularly think my lives are that interesting. But when they said that to me, I was just like, maybe I should just start going live more. Since I'm not able to make videos, maybe I should start going on live on YouTube so I can talk about Visual Kei more, because I don't have that many opportunities to talk about it with the people around me. Anime, I can talk about with my brothers and my family. We're a big anime family. But Visual Kei, not so much. So I was just like, if they think my lives are interesting, maybe I should just start doing more lives. So they inspired me, and I have to tell them, and they always keep me up to date. Like, they told me about Jane posting a reel about how to say his name correctly, which was Jane, which is what we've been saying. They told me about the band that disbanded. I even made a full video. Can't remember the name of the band. Come on. Nope, too tired. They always keep me informed about stuff that's going on, and they're younger than I am, so they be keeping up with these newer groups, and they be keeping me informed. So shout out to Kirong. I don't know if you'll get to see me in the YouTube replay of the live, because I know you're on my YouTube. But yeah, shout out to you. You're the one who inspired me to like do a live, specifically stream on YouTube. Yeah. That was long. I didn't know I had that in me. But I did have it in me. Oracle. Oh, dang, I missed the live. It's okay. WDC, thank you for being here. And thank you for stopping by and saying hi. I've missed your lives too. I haven't been seeing your lives either. You're the person who always keeps me up to date with everything that's happening in K-pop. I love your videos because it's like somebody with a solid mind talking about visual K. Some of the stuff I be seeing about, somebody with a solid mind talking about K-pop. That's what I meant. My mind was on visual K, but I like hearing your opinions and your observations about K-pop because I feel like they're very down to earth. So I need to attend one of your lives at some point so I can catch up with whatever the heck's going on right now because I don't know what's happening in K-pop right now. I have no idea what's happening in K-pop right now. You see... Alright, dude, I'm going to sleep. Bye, Sono. Hopefully next time we'll get to talk more. Bye, tacos. Bye, everybody. See. You should make a podcast. Ooh, no. No more work. Guys, I can't do a podcast. You have to edit with podcasts. Well, let me not say that, because you could do a podcast raw, but you have to make it prettier. I've thought about doing a podcast, but it was about, there's so many things I like talking about. I thought about doing a podcast, but about, like, IRL stuff, like, I don't know, what's the topic right now? Like, people are talking about... Nope, my brain's not working, guys. It's past my bedtime. I was going to make a podcast about nothing that's visual K or anime related, just IRL stuff, like stuff that pops up online. And I never did that. I had a friendship breakup with the person that I was supposed to make a podcast with. So it never came to fruition, but podcasts are a lot of work, dude. I'm just going to do lives until I'm not as busy. I get to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to go to work. Maybe one day. I'll consider it, though. I always have you guys in mind when I'm thinking about the things that I'm able to do and what is entertaining for you guys. Because like I said, for me, I'm like, this is all just talk, yap. And it's boring. But I'm going to do it because I need to get it out of me. I need to get all this out of me. I'm so passionate about it, you know? I love visual K so much, but it's just like, I can't talk to nobody about it in my real life. And it sucks because I told you guys I'm an introvert. That's funny, introvert. I'm an extrovert. I like talking to people in real life. I thrive off of that ish. Yet here I am talking to a screen. So, it's the second best thing. Anyways, guys, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to bed. I can't even read because I'm so tired. This is... Let's set the TikTok off first. Go live for 42 more minutes and you'll reach stage 3 in your live journey. TikTok tripping. You should chill out, leave me alone. I'm trying to go sleep. Oh my god, these cookies are so good. I just need another one like right now. I am scrolling. Okay. Maybe this is a bit much. I'm just gonna have one more. Stop. No, I want water. Oh my god. Okay, one more cookie. Oh god, what did this person say? Wait, what is this? If Cordis was making... Oh, crap. This is the video I made about Cordis. Somebody commented. Okay, let me get off of here, and then I'll get YouTube taken care of. Thanks again, guys, for being in the chat. It means a lot. And when it popped up, I was just like, bruh, I didn't know Streamlabs could do this. How do I get out of here?
Are you scrolling?
Yes.
If you're thinking of becoming a bartender, let me save you some money real quick.
Wait, I was thinking about becoming a bartender and I just exited TikTok. Like, what?
Are you scrolling instead of
No.
Megan the Stallion?
If you're thinking of becoming a bartender, let me save you some money real quick. Do not go to bartending school. Not a single restaurant cares if you graduated from bartending school and had the
Good to know. We'll save that video for later. I think I'd make a good bartender because I like talking to people. Oh, Larku. I love that in high school I got Larku playing in my in my psych class. Dude, I want to buy some albums from them. Alright guys, I'm heading out. I'm going to sleep. I can feel myself winding down. And I need to know how to exit this. It's first time using Streamlabs.